the way I'm feeling right now.
The fans have been chanting for new Bucs quarterback Steve Young, but Coach Lehman Bennett says not yet.
Right now, I don't have any plans to make any changes in my original thoughts.
I realize yet that I'm maybe not ready to play, but I don't really care. I still like to play, even if it's at defensive tackle.
On the east coast of Florida, the sun is just as warm, the beaches are as beautiful, and the lifestyle is even more carefree. But there's trouble in paradise for the Dolphins. Dan Marino's dreams were shattered by the Jets Monday night, who took first place in the AFC East. Injuries have hurt the passing game, and Mark Clayton is finding it tougher to get into the end zone. But help for the defense has arrived. Hugh Green will face his former teammates today as the Dolphins meet the Buccaneers.
The Miami Dolphins.
From the Orange Bowl in Miami, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers of the NFC crossed the state to meet the Miami Dolphins of the AFC. 87 degrees at kickoff in the Orange Bowl, and quite a breezy afternoon up here in the booth as well as down on the field. Hello, everybody. I'm Tim Ryan with our Harvard man and former Chicago Bears offensive lineman Dan Jiggets. And Dan, the winless Buccaneers coming over here trying to win one from Miami. Miami trying to rebound from what was a devastating defeat Monday night at the hands of the New York Jets.
Well, Dan Marino and company have been under a lot of pressure. They have not produced offensively in the last week or so. And one of the reasons why is because Duper's been out. That's put pressure on Clayton and Moore, and it's caused some problems offensively. Also, the offensive line has been injured.
Well, Tampa Bay's offense, I guess the record speaks for itself. They have, on the other hand, been getting some points on the board. No wins.
Well, Steve DeBerg has been throwing interceptions. That's hurt them. He cannot do that today if they're going to win. James Wilder has not rushed for 100 yards in the last 2 weeks. He's got to do that if Tampa Bay's going to win today.
Dolphins went looking for some defensive help, and the irony is they got it from Hugh Green of Tampa Bay.
Well, Hugh Green's going to be looking across the line at some people he knows very, very well. It'll be interesting to see how this thing turns out. It's a somewhat controversial trade, but Hugh Green is ready to play today. Let's go down and kick it off.
All right, Dan, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to receive. To our left, it'll be Fuad Revez kicking off, and Leon Bright is the deep man for the Bucs, along with Phil Freeman. And it comes down to Bright about 2 yards deep, hesitated, but then decided to come out with it. And Bright is stopped short of the 20-yard line, tripped up at about the 17, and it was Jim Jensen who made the tackle, the all-purpose man of the Miami Dolphins. The Buccaneers bring out Steve DeBerg at quarterback, James Wilder the running back, and the U-back, or second tight end, Jerry Bell, the wide receivers Kevin House and Gerald Carter. Across the front line of the Bucs, it'll be Yarno, Corson, Grimes, Farrell, and Heller. And it'll be interesting to see Farrell and Heller particularly, as they will no doubt get some special blocking assignments on their old teammate Hugh Green, making his first start as a Dolphin after getting in some nickel defenses on Monday night against the Jets. First down, Tampa Bay. Wilder gets about 3, maybe 4 yards, is met out the left side by Doug Betters, the left defensive end, and the linebacker Bob Brodzinski. Brodzinski playing with a sore foot. And there you see the defensive front of Betters, Mike Charles, and Kim Bocamper. Bocamper also playing hurt. The linebackers, Brodzinski, Jackie Shipp, the second-year man, Mark Brown, and Hugh Green now over on the right side. The secondary, Lankford and Judson on the corners. Glenn Blackwood and Bud Brown are the safeties. Don McNeil has been returned to the roster, and we'll see some action in the nickel defense for the Dolphins. 2nd and 7. Wilder slipped as he tried to turn it back inside and was stacked up by George Little, number 99, and Bob Brodzinski.
Well, Tim, this kind of fits in with our theory that, Tampa Bay has to run the ball today to see just how good that defense is of Miami. And I'm sure they looked at the Monday night film and decided, well, that's the way to go early on.
It'll be 3rd down and 4. The ball at the 25-yard line. Defensive substitutions on the field for the white-clad Dolphins. Alec Moyer, the rookie linebacker, just activated yesterday off injured reserve, is out there now in this 3rd down play situation. Off the wing comes Jerry Bell for the Buccaneers. To give us to Wilder. He's got some running room, but a good defensive reaction. It was Moyer, number 54, the rookie from Northwestern, their number 3 pick, who just came off injured reserve, stopping Wilder short of the 1st down.
Tim, if you'll remember yesterday, Sean Farrell kind of had a smile on his face when we were talking about that particular play and them running it. It didn't work too well that time for them, though.
No, it did not. So the Buccaneers will have the first punt of the game, Frank Garcia. And it is going to be Clayton back as the punt return man, number 83, standing at the 30-yard line of Miami. They've had to juggle their punt returning a little bit, having replaced Vince Heflin on injured reserve. The punt was blocked, and it rebounds only to about the 45, 46-yard line. It was Jim Jensen of the Dolphins who got a hand on the punt. A big play early for the Miami Dolphins.
Not a bad play for our old quarterback, Tim.
25 yards and advanced to the 48-yard line of Tampa Bay.
They had an all-out rush on the punt. Here comes Jensen right through the middle. Good block. It's a shame that he didn't push it all the way back because they could have gotten even better yardage.
The Bucs, as it turned out, were fortunate the ball went as far as it did. But Miami will start first down from their own 48-yard line. Tony Nathan and Lorenzo Hampton are the rookie are the running backs. Dan Marino brings out the Dolphins. Short drop by Marino. First down pass complete to Nat Moore. Taken out of bounds at the 41-yard line by John Holt, the cornerback, number 21. 8-yard pickup. Tony Nathan, Woody Bennett, the scheduled starter, but they came out with Hampton, Nat Moore, and Mark Clayton. Remember, Mark Cooper still among the missing on the injury list. Geisler, Foster, Dwight Stevenson, the All-Pro at center, Ronnie Lee, and Cleveland Green. The offensive line for Miami, and they will have second and a long 2 from the 41-yard line of Tampa Bay. Opening offensive series for Miami. This is Hampton. Hampton is stacked up by Scott Brantley, and he'll be close to the first down yardage. Greenwood in on the tackle, number 30, the strong safety, and it is a first down Miami. Defensively for the Bucs, John Cannon, David Logan, and Ron Holmes. The front 3, the linebackers, Keith Browner, Jeff Davis, Scott Brantley. Chris Washington has moved over to where Hugh Green used to be. And the secondary, Castile and Holt on the corners. Greenwood and Ivory Sully are the safeties. First down, Miami. Hampton trying to get wide. Cannot make the turn. John Holt came up to drive him out of bounds, and the initial pressure forcing him deeper than he wanted was from David Greenwood, the safety, number 30.
Tim, they tried to run an OT, and that's pulling that backside guard and tackle. It was not successful because Hampton ran a little wide on the play. Should have taken it up inside and just didn't do it that time.
Dan Marino gets the call from Dan Johnson, the tight end, who just came in, number 87. And he has been shuttling the plays in this first series with Bruce Hardy for the Dolphins. A gain of about 1.5 yards for the Miami Dolphins. Marino was stuffed by the Jets. His entire offensive line was on Monday night, and they want badly to rebound. Up the middle, it's complete to Tony Nathan. Out of the backfield, short of the first down, but a gain of about 7. Inside the 30 of Tampa Bay. Jeff Davis playing with a sore shoulder, and Jeremiah Castile made the tackle for the Buccaneers.
They appear to be doing a pretty good job against Dave Logan, the great nose guard. And here you see him just trying to get back the hands in the face. And that's being in nose guard. That's what it's all about, getting beat up.
Boy, his attitude is so great, though. Here they are, 0-6, and with Green out of there, more of the focus, as it should, comes on David Logan as the heart of that defense. Woody Bennett, Lorenzo Hampton are the running backs in the eye. The pitch to Hampton. Hampton, the rookie, has the first down and then some. Down, and the ball is loose. Covered by the Buccaneers, but it may have been whistled dead out of play. It was. Brantley and Sully made the hit on Hampton, and it is Miami ball.
Okay, here we go. Now just watch. Oh, it's too bad we can't see Logan. We'll get another shot at him. Here he comes outside. Lorenzo Hampton outside. Nice play. Just too bad he didn't hold on to it late. He's getting a little extra stick there, and there goes the ball. Now we're going to get a chance to see David Logan, and this is an excellent job. Oh, gee, you hate to see those kinds of things if you're on defense. I love it. I was an offensive line.
That was Dwight Stevenson, the center, and there was a lot of mutual respect in our conversations with Stevenson and Logan separately in the last couple of days. They think highly of each other. Irvin Randall is into the ball game at linebacker. First down as he had stepped out of bounds before he fumbled the ball. Marino to the corner. Touchdown. Nat Moore. Wide open in the corner of the end zone. Marino found him and fired it home.
Tim, one thing that's just real impressive. You notice in this pass play, Dan Marino is really taking his time. He's being patient, allowing the play to develop. Now he's going to look. He sees Nat Moore wide open in the corner. There it is, TD. That's the way to play football Dolphin style. There's the old man.
Juan Revez in to attempt the point after. Strock is the holder. And the Dolphins have jumped into a 7-0 lead, going 48 yards in 6 plays after blocking the Tampa Bay punt. Well, the Miami Dolphins, getting the partially blocked punt by Jim Jensen, moved it in 48 yards on 6 plays, and Marino passing to the veteran Nat Moore from 16 yards out. Don Shula, Miami head coach, got to be pleased with the start of his team. Fired up and ready to go after their loss to the Jets on Monday night. A loss in which the Dolphins defense gave up 476 yards while getting only 200 yards of offense. Revez kickoff taken deep by Freeman. He will not bring it out.
I think that was a very smart decision, Tim. It looked like the Dolphins got downfield in pretty good shape that time.
Good kick by Revez, and his brother Carlos over at the University of Tennessee had a hand in defeating Mike Shula's Alabama team yesterday, as Coach Don ran home to watch his son on TV against Tennessee as the quarterback for the Alabama squad under Ray Perkins, and it turned out they lost 16-14 to another orange-clad team from Tennessee. Wonder if there's an omen there. And it was the brother of Fuad Revez. His name is Carlos, who had 3 field goals to provide the winning margin. First down, Tampa Bay. This is Wilder, and he's got a hole. Wilder all the way out to the 30-yard line, and it'll be close to a first down, depending on the mark he may have it. Jackie Shipp, the linebacker, number 50, made the stop.
There's a nice, sweet James Wilder around the left side. Good blocking up front. Now you see him picking his hole. He's shooting through there, looking for good, strong, positive yardage. And delivers a nice blow, by the way.
James Wilder last week held to just 49 yards on 24 carries by the Rams. And Lehman Bennett told us we went back to some basic techniques in our offensive line blocking in practice this week. Get him some more running room. Let's see if it's effective. It wasn't on that play, as the Dolphins defense stuffed him after a gain of maybe a half yard. Flag down on the play. Doug Betters and George Little made the tackle for the Dolphins. And you can see here, Dan, that Wilder, who had 6 consecutive 100-yard games, counting 2 from last year, had 497 yards in his first 4 games and only 78 in his last 2.
Yeah, they have had some problems on their offensive line. They've not been productive, and the reason why, as Coach Bennett said, was they were blocking high. You know, they found themselves coming out high off the ball. That causes problems because the defense gets underneath you, stuffs you at the line of scrimmage, negative yardage.
The penalty against Tampa Bay after the good run by Wilder got them a first down. They stopped him on the next play and wound up taking a penalty, so they're back now at the 20-yard line again.
And this is a really dangerous area to get a penalty like that in, because now it really changes your game plan. You have to change around what you were going to do if you wanted to throw or something like that. Let's see what Tampa does.
First and 20. Wilder the lone setback. 3 wide receivers in. Wilder's dropped by Mark Brown. Mark Brown, number 51, came surging in unimpeded and had a clear shot, and a fired-up Dolphins defense applauds the play of Mark Brown, a loss of 3.
Mark Brown makes strong penetration right away. Here he comes across the line, bumps Sean Farrell out of the way, and takes James Wilder to the turf. Good play by Mark Brown and teammates.
So the ball back now at the 16-yard line of the Bucs. Second down and 24. Open 23. Wide to the right comes Gerald Carter. 2 receivers out to the left for Tampa Bay. In motion comes Bell. They give to Wilder. Wilder is stopped immediately. And a good ankle tackle by Doug Betters, the 8-year man from Nevada, Reno, number 75.
Tim, let's see how something develops offensively for Tampa Bay. It seems that they're afraid to make a mistake offensively. And as a result of that, they're playing somewhat conservative. They haven't put the ball up in the air like they have been over the past couple of weeks. And I really think that that's a change for them philosophically. So let's see how that develops during the course of the game.
Third down and 22 yards to go. just waiting for him, even though in the obvious passing down with 3rd and long, they've been prepared for Wilder carrying the ball, and Doug Betters has gotten very familiar with Wilder in the early going here, and once more the Bucs will have to punt.
Well, I think that the problem that Tampa Bay is going to have is that Lehman Bennett's probably afraid to say, hey, look, go ahead, put it up in the air, Steve. You know, with the interceptions last week, it makes it very difficult to come back and keep throwing the ball like he wants to.
Well, and he did say he wanted to get that running game going one more time, as it had been so effective early on with Wilder. Garcia gets this one away handily, and it is Mark Clayton at his own 30-yard line. Clayton trying to go wide. The Bucs in pursuit. And Clayton made the corner and got it up to about the 42-yard line before he was forced out by Adger Armstrong. Mike Pryor, number 24, looked like he had an angle on him, but Clayton just outran him. 46-yard punt with Miami in front, 7-0, first quarter. Lehman Bennett in Tampa Bay so far this season, his first year as the new head coach following John McKay, 0-6, but you have to admire his attitude and his whole approach. He knows that he's got the time on his contract to rebuild the Buccaneers, and I think that his attitude through this difficult period has certainly been outstanding.
It really has, and it's carried over to his team too, and I think that that's going to be something that's going to help them down the line a heck of a lot.
Well, they got 2 picks for Hugh Green just for a start. On first down, the Dolphins up the middle to the tight end Hardy, and it'll be a first down Miami. Starting from their own 41, they're now in Tampa territory. The Rams over Kansas City, and Los Angeles now 7-0 after shutting out the Chiefs, have been struggling. And look at this. The Lions upsetting San Francisco 23-21. There is big trouble in Baghdad by the Bay. Buffalo over Indianapolis 21-9. Score of interest to the Dolphin fans in the AFC East. Bennett and Hampton in the I formation on 2nd and about a half yard. And it'll be Lorenzo Hampton, the rookie, has the first down and picks up a couple of more to the 45-yard line of the Bucs.
The great thing that Lorenzo Hampton did that time is he followed his blockers, and then he picked the hole when they gave him one. And you'll see him here. He's coming around. Tweez is coming around, and Tuzin, or whatever his name is, and he's coming around. Nice block out on the outside, kicks him out, and now here comes Hampton through the hole. That's the way the play is supposed to be run, the counter OT. Good play by Lorenzo Hampton.
Hampton, the #1 choice from the University of Florida. 6', 212-pounder. Looks like he's going to turn out to be a dandy. First down, Miami. Buccaneers 45-yard line. Play action. Marino all kinds of time. Deep sideline. Threw it out of bounds. The man over there was open, Mark Clayton. And Marino just sailed it out of bounds. And he had all day. Now he's just having some conversation with Clayton about perhaps the route not being what he expected. And we see Minnesota has defeated San Diego 21-17 today to stay in the hunt in the NFC Central behind the leading Bears. And Pittsburgh leading the Cardinals 23-10 in the 4th period. And look at this, the Eagles over Dallas 16-14. So that NFC East gets more and more interesting. 2nd and 10. Tony Nathan. Nathan running hard, and he may have the first down with a second effort dive close to the 35-yard line of Tampa. Ivory Sully was the man to finally stop him.
Tim, the thing to look for here is Nathan following his block. Nice kick-out block, and here he comes around, tucking it back up in. Now, see, most backs will run outside. A good back runs inside like Nathan does here. Makes good, strong, positive yardage.
Diving, trying to get to that marker, and they're going to measure and see whether that effort pays off for Tony Nathan.
Tony Nathan's going, oh, come on, give me the extra foot.
Well, they gave him it. They gave him a first down at the 35-yard line, but he earned it too. Nathan has had to be carrying more of the offensive load for the Dolphins with Mark Duper out of there. He's caught 29 passes as he has become a more important receiver with the doubling on Mark Clayton downfield. Ron Davenport, the rookie from Louisville, is in now at fullback, number 30. On first down, up the middle to the tight end, it's complete. And close to another first down. Bruce Hardy, number 84, the receiver, a 9-yard gain.
One of the things Dan Marino mentioned to us yesterday was the fact that Tampa Bay likes to get back in that zone, have those linebackers drop, and they wanted to concentrate on throwing underneath, get them set up, and then possibly go with the long ball later on.
Well, he also indicated that they thought they could throw successfully on first and second down for that very reason. And he's been making that pay off here in the first two offensive series for Miami. They lead 7-0. Hampton and Davenport, the running back, second and about a half yard to go. Dan Johnson in motion now sets up on the strong side right. Hampton has the first down. Got to the 20-yard line where David Logan bulldogged him down.
Tim, something interesting that Tampa Bay's defense does, you know, they're a reading defense. They like to sit on that line of scrimmage, hold you up on your blocks offensively, and give those linebackers a chance to read. Another thing to notice is how deep their inside linebackers are playing off the ball. If Miami's offensive line is able to get through to those linebackers, they're going to go for big yardage all day.
Well, that's something that they weren't able to do against the Jets on Monday night, and it seemed like there was a rededication by both offensive lines this week to improve their performances of last week's games. Let's see who wins the duel in the pits. On first down, Marino, lots of time. Wide open in the middle is Clayton. Clayton surrounded by 5 Buccaneers at the 15-yard line after a gain of 5 yards. Brantley and Sully were the first to arrive.
Dan Marino has not had pressure on him so far during this game. There's Scott Brantley's down on the ground. I sure hope it isn't serious. He's a Florida guy, and he's down from this area, played at the University of Florida.
And a key player in that middle. The Dolphins have thrown 6 times out of 7 first down plays so far, so Marino sticking to that game plan and making it work for him. And while they attend to Brantley, will take this time out with Miami in front 7-0. Getting some attention on the bench, seems to be favoring his ribs and lower back, and he's been replaced by the veteran Cecil Johnson, number 56. The Dolphins have a second and a long 4. Tim Ryan and Dan Jiggets here at the Orange Bowl in Miami. Miami in front 7-0 on the touchdown pass from Marino to Moore. And driving again, and this is Hampton. Hampton is dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Good defensive reaction, led by Jeff Davis, number 58. The inside linebacker, and the left end John Cannon, number 78. There'll be a loss of a yard on the play.
They came across very well, made some penetration off the ball, and that was the reason why they had some success on that play. Cecil Johnson's an old player. He's been around 9 years out of the University of Pittsburgh. Hugh Green's alma mater, by the way.
Joe Rose has come in at tight end. Duriel Harris at wide receiver. Harris picked up as a free agent from the Cowboys this year after having played several years in the past with the Miami Dolphins. Carl Howard, a new defensive back, is in for the Buccaneers. And in the open is Clayton. The flag is down. He gets to the 10-yard line and then is forced out with Holt waiting for him. Had the first down yardage for Miami. Let's see who gets the flag. Our referee is Jerry Seaman today. And the infraction is signaled against Tampa Bay.
You know, again, Marino's having all day to pass. He's sitting back there and picking his spots and just kind of throwing darts. You know, he doesn't really have any pressure on him.
Holding, number 30, defense, penalty declined. First down.
Let's watch this play again.
No pressure at all from the Tampa Bay defensive line. The offensive line of Miami is doing a great job of keeping those guys off of Dan Marino. His uniform isn't even dirty. Mark Clayton wide open. Why? Because those linebackers are dropping too deep. They've got to get somebody on him tight.
So it is first down, Dolphins inside the 10-yard line.
Clayton, he's doing a little quick step outside, come back out. Now he's got the ball ready to roll.
First and goal, Dolphins. Up the middle of Clayton, dropped the ball, and it is incomplete.
He got drilled that time. I don't think he wants to go back in the middle too often.
Ivory Sully, the man, and there's a flag down as it looks like an unsportsmanlike penalty coming well after the play had ended. Buccaneers had a shot to intercept that ball, but they were putting so much impact on Clayton that they didn't catch the ball.
Well, it may be a good thing that, you know, they kind of give him a stick early on, let him know they're there.
Unsportsmanlike conduct will be the penalty as the Buccaneers continue to hurt themselves. Been the pattern through 6 games.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 56, defense, first down.
Cecil Johnson is number 56.
So you watch him here, he's going to really catch it coming down the middle. This is why receivers do not like to come down the middle. Everybody's waiting for you, a whole party. And Cecil Johnson must have got a little extra in there. He must have said something or done something after the play was over.
Johnson was the man who had the best chance to catch the ball, too. But it is 1st and goal now inside the 5-yard line of Tampa Bay. The Dolphins leading 7-0. 2:36 to play first quarter. 2 tight ends are in, Hardy and Johnson for the Dolphins, and timeout is called by Miami as they had some kind of a mix-up looking at that Bucs defense. And so Dan Marino will come over to discuss things with Don Shula.
You know, I kind of like Shula's look, you know, the shades on the sideline and everything. That's the Miami look.
John Sandusky, the offensive coordinator, have some discussion here about why the timeout was called. You can see Don's not too happy with it. And let's take a look at some scores from around the rest of the league. Pittsburgh over St. Louis, 23-10 is a final, and the Cardinals will fall to 3-4 in the NFC East. And look at this, the Giants holding Washington to just 3 points. Looked like the Redskins were back with their win last week, and the Giants 17-3. So New York moves to 4-3 into second place. And the Dallas Cowboys losing today are at 5-2 atop. Denver in front of Seattle 7-0 in the first quarter.
I think that NFC East, everybody's going to end up with an 8-8 record or something the way that they're going right now.
Marino will bring out the words from Don Shula and execute them on the field as best he can, and he is throwing 7 out of 8 for 62 yards and a touchdown against the Jets on Monday night. Not a huge night for Marino, passing 13 for 23 against the Jets. And that his second all-time low. He still leads the league, however, in total number of completions.
You know, one of the things you have to like about Dan Marino is he's got an offensive lineman's mentality. You know, he likes to get in there and mix it up with the big fellas. It's really great to see that, and I'm sure that's why those guys get along so well.
He was very supportive of his offensive line when we discussed that with him yesterday. He didn't point any fingers at all about the performance on Monday night, and yet that offensive line did struggle. All right, play action in the corner, touchdown to Jensen. Plays the special teams. He's the third quarterback. He's the third wide receiver with Heflin going to injured reserve. The fourth wide receiver, pardon me, and he gets himself a touchdown.
Well, the last thing they're expecting is for someone like Jensen to go out on the pass there. John Holt gets fooled right now. Jensen's wide open in the corner. I think that they were expecting a run play.
And that's the first touchdown of the season for Jensen, his third career touchdown. Reveiz comes in for the point after, and the Dolphins have jumped on top as we have just begun the second quarter. It is now 14-0. As we see Lehman Bennett on the sideline, and his team quickly down here with just 2.5 minutes gone in the second period, trailing 14-0.
And I'm sure one of the things he's thinking is, look, we've always played well in the first half, and we've kind of died out in the second half. What's going on today? These guys are on them.
Well, it might be a positive reversal. He can hope for that anyway. Reveiz kickoff, wind-aided, drives Leon Bright back to the end line. So they'll start from their 20. The wind is really whistling through in the upper reaches of the Orange Bowl now,
Tim,
where we are.
I think you just invented a new stat, wind-aided. Well, it's something that the NFL will have to institute next year.
Well, that was obviously wind-aided. You could see the thing just kind of sail up there. And the Old Glory is suffering the effects of the wind wrapped around that mast and pole there, flagpole.
I tell you, as warm as it's been in this booth, we definitely need that breeze today.
First down for the Buccaneers, who have yet to throw a pass. Steve DeBerg, as they had been trying to establish the run under orders from Lehman Bennett, will now have to get something going. He's down by 2 touchdowns. And it's complete to Jerry Bell. Bell with a first down for the Buccaneers. A 12-yard pickup at the 32-yard line where Mark Brown, the third-year linebacker from Purdue, makes the tackle. Bell with 30 catches, second only to Wilder among the receivers on the Buccaneers.
That time, Jerry Bell just kind of slid into the middle of the zone, and there was a little seam in there, settled down in there, and got the reception.
First pass of the game by Tampa Bay. They had to punt twice. The first one partially tipped, gave Miami the ball at the Tampa 48. They took it in to score and scored on their second possession. Here's Wilder. Wilder dives for about 6. Another flag is down. Wilder with a 6-yard pickup. Glenn Blackwood, number 47, made the tackle.
You know, the interesting thing about James Wilder is he makes 6 yards look very easy. He's a very smooth runner for a guy that's 225 pounds.
The holding signal is against the Miami Dolphins. Defensive holding, the flag coming down in the secondary area.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Number 55, defense, first down.
Shula's going, what's going on? Who? What?
Hugh Green, former Buccaneer.
Oh, he's playing nasty now. He doesn't like his old teammates. That is a good shot to the face. Oh, yeah, Jerry Bell's not going to like that one when he sees it in film.
He still
and then
got a
he
hold
snatched
of
the face mask. That was really the big problem.
Got a hold of the strap. So it's first down for the Buccaneers at the Tampa Bay 42-yard line. In motion goes Bell. The Bird with time, complete to Jerry Bell, and a first down at the 30-yard line of Miami. A 27-yard gain.
And guess who he beat? Hugh Green. We're going to get another look at it here. Jerry Bell broke outside and really had a nice run down the field. Hugh Green couldn't keep up with him, strangely enough, and that's one of the things Hugh prides himself on. You see him there trying to swat at it. No deal. Here goes Jerry Bell down for the gain.
The safeties, Blackwood and Bud Brown, had to make the tackle. And it is first down. Tampa Bay finally out of their own end for the first time with time winding down. They're at the 30-yard line. To the 10-yard line.
James Wilder's looking for a big day, Tim.
19-yard gain for Wilder. First down, Tampa Bay at the Miami 10.
And here comes a nice triple team on Hugh Green. He's out of the play, or double team at least. Hugh Green cut. Now you see Wilder cutting back up the front, and we kind of lost him there, but Green was eliminated from the play.
Saw Giles and Jerry Bell on that block, and we're winding down here in the first quarter. I think I had us into the second there a moment ago, but we are now winding down to the end of the first period at the Orange Bowl in Miami, where the Dolphins lead 14-0. Man, Steve Young.
Yeah, you know, Lehman Bennett mentioned that he's not ready to play yet, but Steve Young's got to be thinking, hey, look, I can go out there and get something going.
Well, they have a very complex offense, and we've talked about it before on other telecasts involving the Buccaneers. First and goal. If the Bird could put a couple of good games together, certainly take some of the heat off.
That's right.
The Bird has a man, and it's incomplete. Both the defender and the intended receiver, Kevin House, fell down in the corner of the end zone. So House didn't really have a chance to catch the football, although he was behind the defender, Bud Brown.
Yeah, you know, the Bird didn't lead him quite enough, and I think that maybe he extended out to try to get to the ball. But I'm sure that's something that's just timing down there. That's all it is. When you get this close in, everything starts speeding up, and you've got to get there on time or it's not going to work.
Second down from the 10-yard line of Miami. Just underway, second quarter. Buccaneers to our right, Dolphins to our left. Betters, Charles, and Little are the front three. Kim Bokamper started, but has not been in for much of the last series of plays defensively for Miami. He's hurting. This is Wilder. Wilder into the end zone. Yes, touchdown. James Wilder just managed to sneak inside the pylon. Great piece of running by James Wilder, and the Buccaneers are on the board.
Tim, we're going to see Sean Farrell and Ron Heller pulling on the OT. And remember, Farrell had the smile on his face when he's talking about coming after Hugh Green on this play. Excellent block. There goes Green out. James Wilder around the corner. Touchdown. James is stretching out. Looking pretty good today. I think he wants to get over 100 again. They've got to win by doing that.
There's that good second effort that just got him inside the pylon. And it'll be Donald Igwebuike for the point after. And he has it. So the Buccaneers refused to buckle when they fell behind 14-0 in the first period. 14:48 to go, 14-7. I guess we're helping it by telling everybody that his debut was highly anticipated. That Igwebuike's kickoff goes through the end zone. Hampton, the deep man, just gave it a nod as it went over his head. So the Bucs with a couple of big plays, went 80 yards and 5 plays, 2 minutes and 43 seconds off the clock, and James Wilder taking it from 10 yards out for the score. 14-7 football game. Tim Ryan with Dan Jiggets as we see Dan Marino bring out the Dolphins, and the Dolphins had good field position to start with on their first 2 possessions and made them both count. Let's see what they can do starting from the 20.
With an arm like Marino's, any place on the field is good for field position.
That is a point well taken, and he's had the time to throw, and he hits his man, but it's dropped. Nat Moore could not hold on. John Holt put the hit on Moore as the ball arrived. Holt, number 21, a pretty good smack, and Nat Moore dropped the football.
One of the things is they're going to try to do to Nat Moore early is intimidate him a little bit back there, and by doing that, they hope that he's going to do this, drop some more balls. You see they're right on him. They're on him like sweat.
He actually dropped the ball, though, before the contact was made, but he looked like he was looking to see where Holt was. So the effect was the same. 2nd and 10, Miami. Lorenzo Hampton shakes off a tackle and has a first down to the 35-yard line. Jeff Davis had a clean shot at him, but he broke loose, and Cecil Johnson and Castile made the stop after a 14-yard pickup.
Watch these linebackers. You see them taking off in their drops. That middle is wide open. Nobody's there. Lorenzo Hampton realizes that, picks up the ball, and picks up some yardage.
So the Dolphins are out at their 34-yard line where they've spotted the ball. Hampton, 4 catches on the season. Carl Howard has come in the nickel defense on first down for the Buccaneers, and dancing forward for the Dolphins, Tony Nathan with a good piece of running, and Washington made the tackle. Washington is in Hugh Green's old spot. He had been playing left outside linebacker. They moved him over to the right side with the departure of Green, and Keith Browner started there last week on the left side in Washington's old spot, and the rookie Urban Randall getting some time.
That time Big Roy Foster was leading him through the hole. You know some people are going to move out of the way when Big Roy comes through.
And injury report on Scott Brentley. That apparently a sore hip and will not return at least for this half. So he'll be missed in the middle. Lindstrom is in defensively on 2nd and a long 3. Short pass out to Hampton. Hampton has the first down, and he takes a big hit.
You know, it almost appeared that time like Miami was setting up a semi-screen the way they led him inside. They invited the defensive line inside and then threw outside, just shortened the flat.
Jeff Davis and Ivory Sully really gave him a pretty good shot, but credit the rookie, held on to the football, and the Dolphins have a first down as they grind out now to their 47-yard line. Hampton will get a breather, a chance to suck some air back into his lungs from that last shot. Davenport is in at running back. Duriel Harris has come in at wide receiver. Lots of time again for Marino, and it's dropped by Dan Johnson. Johnson was there at the Bucs 30-yard line, just dropped the football.
I think it's an understatement to say that he should have caught that when he was open, and that would have given them excellent field position.
You know, last week the Bucs defense had 7 sacks against a pretty good football team called the unbeaten L.A. Rams, but today they have not been able to get any pressure on Marino. He's just been sitting back there, being able to survey the entire field, and he'd have a better record, except he's had a couple of drops, and we just saw one.
Well, you know, they worked awfully hard the last couple of days, and even after the Monday night game, which is unusual. And I'm sure that's one of the things they were working on.
2nd and 10, Miami. This is Nathan. Nathan gets a pretty good hole off right tackle and turns it into close to a 7-yard gain. Ivory Sully, the safety, number 44, making the tackle.
But Miami's got to get a little backside help from their offensive line. John Giesler is not able to come downfield and pick off those safeties. That's when you get the long run on the sweeps such as that one, because somebody's got to pick off Sully, and then all of a sudden there's a great big opening on that side of the field.
There's Giesler. He's been playing with a knee injury, didn't practice all week. Of course, the Dolphins without Ed Newman, Eric Laxo, who figured to be starters in the offensive line, both on injured reserve. Giesler playing hurt. And they've had a series of injuries. We talked about Duper, obviously. Buccaneers have taken a timeout.
You know what, a guy like Big John, he really wants to stay out on the field, and that's why he's there today, even though he's hurting a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, to not practice and then show up out there, start and go full board, that's a test.
Well, you know, he's tough. He's an offensive lineman. I'm telling you these things.
That's right. Both these teams have had really a number of injury problems. Tommy Vigorito is still gone, and they have on defense Bob Baumhauer certainly has been missed, and the nickelback Mike Kozlowski just went on. Well, next Sunday, our doubleheader action on CBS Sports will feature the Minnesota Vikings, winners today, against the Chicago Bears, who play the Monday night game against Green Bay, and they are unbeaten at 6-0 going into that one tomorrow night. Atlanta, Dallas, Green Bay at Indianapolis, and Washington at Cleveland.
Seems like so many years I was with the Bears, that was the exact opposite. That O was in front and the 6 was in back.
The second half of that doubleheader will feature the 49ers and the Rams. And that rivalry on the coast, one of the best ones in football. And these 49ers, the Super Bowl champs, is stumbling somewhat, now having to face an unbeaten team in the Rams. Los Angeles winners today. And here's another final in. The Raiders nipped Cleveland 21-20. And Houston, they finally got it going over Cincinnati. Big score in Atlanta, dumping New Orleans. And that's the Falcons' first win of the season. Nice to see them get one. 3 wide receivers for Miami. Third and a long 3. Shotgun formation. Marino. They're 2 for 2, turning it over on third down. And again, lots of time. They go to Moore. Matt Moore has the first down, and John Holt wrestles him out of bounds in Tampa territory at the 38.
Matt Moore ran 100 yards, but only gained about 10. He cut across the field, and I think he's going to be out of breath after this play. Here, you're going to see him come right across the middle of your screen and get the ball, and then take off running across to the other side of the field. Here he goes now. He's not really gaining that much yardage, but he's looking for an opening and trying to burst upfield. It's just not going to happen. John Holt's there to make the stop.
He was kind of a delay man. Marino looking downfield. The coverage was there, and Moore coming from the right side, and as you said, using up a lot of horizontal real estate. Davenport and Hampton, the running backs, on first down, Miami. Jensen now in motion. They give this to Hampton. Lorenzo Hampton turns it upfield, stumbles, but has a first down inside the 25.
Did you see Roy Green's reaction? They know they had it to the end zone that time. It looked like I-95 out there.
13-yard gain, 38 yards on the day for Hampton.
You're going to see both guards coming on the sweep. Excellent kick-out block, excellent turn-up block. And here comes Lorenzo Hampton. Just enough time to get him through the hole, and he's taken off. That last little step, he missed it.
Jeff Taves, number 60, and number 61, Roy Foster. Taves getting some guard time in Ronnie Lee's spot. Leading the blocking for this young man, the rookie from Florida. First down, Dolphins driving again. 25 of Tampa Bay. Hampton, left side, lots of room. To the 10-yard line of Tampa Bay. John Holt stops him there, and the Orange Bowl fans love it.
One of the things you're going to look for in this replay is the way Hampton's feet are moving. He's moving around. He's very fluid running back. Watch him start shifting around a little bit, setting people up, then going the other way. Nice setup there. Holt just barely got him. Excellent play by Lorenzo Hampton.
If they had a bright spot Monday night, he was certainly it, Hampton, against the Jets. And this young man looks like he's going to be an exciting back for the Dolphins. Tony Nathan in his 7th year from Alabama. Sure glad to have a little help. Short drop by Marino. Blair pass out to Nathan. Nathan trying to get into the end zone is stopped at about the 1-yard line. $3 as he went airborne. Sully, Castile, and Greenwood all got a little of them, but the Dolphins are at the 1-yard line.
You gotta love something like that. Tony Nathan saw that end zone. You know, he doesn't care what it takes. He's going to try to get in there. He just took off, went airborne, didn't make it, but I really like that kind of play.
They're going to measure, and he might wind up with a first and goal for them. Let's see. Just short, about 4 inches short.
He needed that foot again, see?
That's right. So the Dolphins on the doorstep, leading 14-7. With 10:17 to go here in the first half. threatening to widen it once more. And that's all they need to get a first down, and not much more to be in the end zone.
Again, that Tampa Bay defense has got to be thinking, boy, we're in tough shape now. If they even breathe wrong, Miami's over the goal line.
Marino at 12 of 16 to this point, and has had 3 drops that we can recall. So he's had a nearly perfect afternoon. Davenport, the rookie, touchdown. Ron Davenport from Louisville.
I love it. Big Roy Foster got the chance to go in motion that time, went over to the other side of the line where they eventually went through, and he was so excited. He was laying in the end zone, raising his hands. Offensive linemen love those opportunities.
Well, he'd rather carry the ball, though. That'd be better. Fall on the fumble in there,
right?
That's
right.
But Davenport held on for the Dolphins. Gervais in for the point after try. Don Strock, the holder. He's got it. So the Miami Dolphins, with 10:04 remaining first half, go 80 yards in 11 plays and open the lead to 21-7. Tim Ryan with Dan Jiggets at the Orange Bowl in Miami. 10:04 to go first half. The Dolphins have taken a 21-7 lead on the touchdown by rookie Ron Davenport.
Tampa Bay right now is treading water, and they're hoping that they can stay afloat. This game is going to quickly get away from them if they don't do something offensively.
Well, Miami has not had to punch yet, so twice they've started in good field position, once from their 20, but they've scored all 3 times. And a short kickoff is taken by Leon Bright. Bright gets to the 24-yard line where Joe Rose hauls him down. So Gervais did not get much of a kickoff into the wind, and Tampa Bay will have reasonably good field position this time. And we see that the Dolphins used 5 rushes, 6 passes to go their 80 yards. Davenport with the TD. They've started from the 48 following the tipped punt. Went 6 plays for a touchdown. After a Tampa Bay punt, they started from their 42. Scored in 10 plays, and then from their own 20, it took 11. Let's see what Steve DeBerg and company can do. Last week, the numbers were fine except for that last column. 2 of them taken in for scores by the Reigns. He's got Kevin House. It pops out of his hands. It's intercepted by Green. Hugh Green knocked out of bounds by Wilder at the 2-yard line. Irony of ironies. The former Buccaneer in his first game against his old mates in just the 3rd meeting ever between these 2 teams.
That's a real good shot by Judson. You'll see it coming up on the right-hand side of your screen. He bounces the ball a little bit. Now it comes off. Hugh Green's in good position and gets ready to try to take it in with an escort. But he didn't make it. He got a nice shot, by the way, at the end of this play by number 32, James Wilder.
James Wilder saved the touchdown, but Miami first and goal from the 3-yard line. Kevin House could have caught the football. Again, he dropped it before the contact arrived from Judson. And that's the kind of bad luck DeBerg has been having. That was not his fault. And yet, Miami on the doorstep again. And good defensive reaction. Logan Cannon, number 78, the initial contact. And then Carl Morgan, 67, there to stop Tony Nathan. Might even be a little loss on the play.
This may well have been the turning point in this game, though, because now Tampa Bay is thinking, well, we're 0-6, and now they got the interception. They're down close to the goal line. We're down 14 points. What else wrong can happen? And these things have a way of just overtaking you, and then, after a while, you feel like you're in a hole that you can't get out of.
One setback for the Dolphins. That's Davenport. Hardy in motion. Incomplete. Intended for Dan Johnson, number 87. One of the 2 tight ends in that formation. The ball was there, and another drop. That one a little long. Marino don't look too upset about it, though.
Now he knows he's going to come back and get another shot at it.
Yeah, he's got 3rd and goal on a 21-7 lead. And he's been razor sharp today, Dan Marino. Bennett comes in, number 34, and Hampton, number 27. Hampton delivers the play. Dandy Dan, 12 of 17, 105 yards and 2 touchdowns. And as I commented, he's had several blocks. Now, there might have been a little mix-up here as he had to rush the lineup. They give it to Hampton. Good defensive play, and he is stopped. The ball came loose, but after the play was whistled dead, Davis made the big play on him, and John Holt made the tackle. It's going to be 4th down, and Don Shula will go for the field goal.
Well, this is one of those gift situations for Miami. It would have been excellent if they had scored the touchdown, but they say, hey, look, we'll get 3 points out of this thing and go back and line it up again. So they really haven't lost too much. Don Shula's not real upset unless they miss this field goal.
Well, I think he's made good judgment here, too. But on the other hand, to follow your point a moments ago, this is going to give the Bucs a bit of a lift. After all, they stopped him short of the touchdown after the interception, which could have, did no doubt, take wind out of their sails, and it's blocked. Is it over?
No, it didn't make it.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Can't believe it.
The ball just popped up and went over the uprights. A 20-yard try, and when you're hot, you're hot. The Dolphins, with a little luck there, Revés saw that one bounce off somebody. Carl Morgan, I believe, is the man, and the ball went over the uprights.
That's unbelievable. You watch just right on the right-hand side of the screen. It seemed like it came down in front of the goalpost, but obviously the officials have a better eye at it than I do. It made it by inches.
Carl Morgan got a hand on it, but there was enough forward motion on the shot, a little top spin from Revés, and so it cleared the goalpost, and the Dolphins have widened the lead to 24-7.
That would have really been a lift for him if they'd have been able to block that.
Fuad Revés, his brother Carlos, the kicker at Tennessee, another brother Lewis at Carson Newman. Certainly runs in the family. He played his high school football right here in Miami Sunset High.
Played a little linebacker, too, from what I understand.
Yes, he's built like a linebacker, isn't he?
He sure is.
Boy,
Between he and Roby, I don't know. I wouldn't want to rush the punter or the kicker too much.
Well, those guys could be pressed into service, I'm sure, as offensive linemen or linebackers if necessary. Those are big guys. Fuad Revés, kickoff for the Dolphins. Bill Freeman takes it at his 5. Over the 20 to about the 22-yard line. And it will be Joe Carter, number 23, just activated as a reserve running back, making the initial contact.
Then they're starting to call out the nasties on the field today, right now. Starting to get to that point where attitudes are getting a little bad. I think you're going to start seeing some people, jumping up in one another's faces and making some challenges.
Well, at halftime, 7:58 from now, the NFL Today will bring you up to date with all of the final scores from the earlier games and what's happening in the later games. Brent Nerve on hand to keep you up to date on the NFL activity and some interesting scores in this afternoon's action. First down, Tampa Bay. This is Wilder. Wilder cuts it upfield in the middle and picks up about 5 yards. Somebody's helmet pops off. That's number 71, Mike Charles. And Mark Brown in on the tackle, number 51.
Wilder does an excellent job of setting up his blockers. He always pulls people outside if he's going to duck back up inside, and then he makes that little move right back inside. It really helps an offensive lineman if you're trying to block somebody out when a back does that and sets the defensive player up for you. It's a smart running back, and that's one of the reasons why he's had so much success over the last 5 years.
And it's close to a 7-yard gain. We'll call it second and a long 3 for Tampa Bay. Jerry Bell in motion. Pitch out to Wilder. Wilder's got a block out the right side, has the first down, and is stacked up by Shipp and number 51, Brown.
Brown got a nice shot on James Wilder's head that time. You better look out for that kind of stuff. It'll give you a good penalty down here.
On Monday night, the Jets had a lot of success. Freeman McNeil had a big day, rolled up 173 yards, and they were a little sensitive about it, the Dolphins' defensive line. Of course, Kim Bocamper, injured, is not playing today, started, but has not seen much action since then, if at all, since the early portion of the game with a neck and a rib injury. And George Little playing on the nose and Charles in Bocamper's spot, but they were determined to show that that was just an off night for the defensive line. Play action. DeBerg gets lots of time. Deep for Kevin House. House cannot make the catch inbounds.
Steve's looking like, gee, if I'd have thrown that thing about 3 yards shorter, we'd had a big gainer. Just overthrew him just a tad and it was out of bounds. He couldn't get his feet down and his hands up at the same time.
Judson, number 49, had the coverage. 2nd and 10, Tampa Bay. 24-7 with 6:23 remaining in the first half.
You know, a funny thing about defensive backs, they're like rabbits. You know, the least little sound, they kind of jump a little bit. They're jumpy guys. And it's really fun to watch them run around and try to catch up with these receivers. Here's Judson. He's a rabbit. He can run like mad.
Excellent cover man, too.
And Langford on the other side with all the speed, of course.
John Farrell is out of the offensive lineup. Mallory in for him. On 2nd and 10, there is no gain, probably a loss of a yard on the play, as Wilder dropped by Charles and Mark Brown behind the line. And we'll try and get a word on the fine tackle Sean Farrell, who would be sorely missed on the Tampa Bay offensive line. 3 wide receivers, Carter, House, and Bell are in. Rick Mallory, number 68, a first-year man from Washington, is in for the injured Farrell, or at least we're assuming he's injured. Don McNeil is in as a nickelback on 3rd and 11. Deep drop. The blitz is on. It's intended for Wilder, and it's incomplete. Double coverage on Wilder. Judson and Bud Brown both there. The pass was there as well. Wilder had a chance to catch it, but it was a difficult grab in traffic.
It sure was. And somebody, you know, they were coming over his back and right in his face. And he only has a very tight alley in there to catch the ball, and he just couldn't make it. The Birds, by the way, took a heck of a blow after the play.
Langford, the cornerback, number 44, was the man on the corner blitz. Garcia into punt. Mark Clayton is the deep man for the Dolphins. He's standing at the 28-yard line. Clayton from his 27. There'll be a clip on the play. A flag is down, and it would appear to me that number 70, Bill Barnett, is guilty of hitting a Buccaneer from behind. Whether that's the call or not, we'll find out.
It's too bad we can't see Don Shula after this play. You know, Don is about those penalties. He goes crazy when something like this happens.
50-yard punt by Garcia.
That kind of block doesn't make any sense, though. The guy's already passed. He's not going to make the play. Let him go.
Yeah. Yeah, it looked like it was an almost unintentional block, too, as though he was just trying to kind of clear him out of the traffic.
Illegal block during the return. Number 70, receiving team.
Well, that's the man they got.
Down.
Look at Shula. He's upset. You're going to see this right in the middle of the screen. Barnett comes around and takes a nice shot on someone's back, and that's a dirty. There it is. Just too bad. I mean, it didn't make any sense. He wasn't going to make the play. Clayton thanked him, though.
So they'll start from their 20-yard line when we return with 5:20 to play in the first half. I'm with Dan Jiggets, and there is Sean Farrell on the Tampa Bay bench, upset because of that wrap around his hamstring.
That's my homeboy, Tim. You know, I'm hoping he's all right. I've known him since he's 6 years old.
From Long Island, New York.
Absolutely.
Played his football at Penn State. He'll be missed out there. He's probably their best lineman. Tony Nathan picks up 5 to the 25-yard line. A flag down on the play. Chris Washington made the tackle, number 51, for the Buccaneers. So Rick Mallory working that last offensive series for Sean Farrell of Tampa Bay. He'll continue there. And the penalty is signaled against the Miami Dolphins. So on 2 consecutive plays, the Dolphins pick up penalties, and Coach Shula is not going to smile over that activity.
No, because coming into this game, the Dolphins, as usual, are the least penalized team in the league, along with the Washington Redskins. And Don Shula has a real, thing about that. He does not like to get penalties.
Number 61, offense, still first down.
That's Roy Foster, the 4-year guard from USC. So it's back to the 10-yard line. 1st and 20 for the Dolphins. They lead, however, 24-7 with 5:05 to play in the first half here at the Orange Bowl. Hampton hit behind the line of scrimmage, and there'll be a loss of about a half yard on the play. Good reaction up the left side. Greenwood and the linebacker Keith Browner, number 57.
You're going to get a chance in this play to see David Greenwood in hot pursuit. That's one of the things he's been known for. He's a head on him. He's a big guy. Comes in and gets a nice shot right there. Take him down to the ground, David. You know, he was an all-star performer in the USFL, and before that he was up at Wisconsin.
Good athlete, too. Had an outstanding career in track and field in high school. And Greenwood, with 38 tackles coming into the game today, one of the leaders on the Buccaneers. Flags everywhere. In fact, the official threw a flag that hit Dan Marino. And Dan Marino is, he seems to be holding something there. I mean,
False start. Prior to the snap, number 61, offense.
They've got metal balls loaded in the bottom of those flags. That's like when they fly so high in the air, and they hit you with one of those things that can really hurt.
Well, that one did. It stung and hit him right in the neck, I believe, and that's a first for me. I've never seen a player injured with a flag before.
Marino said, "Hey, everybody's out here after me already.
Right,
Give me a
this
break."
is a tough enough game. I don't need to be hit with the metal ball wrapped up in a yellow flag. And he cringed immediately and reached for that spot. Meanwhile, the Dolphins are going backwards very effectively. They're at the 6-yard line, 2nd and 25. Tony Nathan got back about 6 yards. John Holt made the tackle. It'll be 3rd and very long.
Well, I'm sure that what they're thinking is down there is let's run it on the ground a little bit and try to give ourselves a little breathing room before we go to the pass, because you're not going to make up the difference, you know, the 15 to 20 yards you've got to go by throwing the ball out that quickly.
3rd and 19 will be the count. Joe Rose comes in at tight end. Duriel Harris comes in, and Hampton comes out. So they're showing pass. Let's see what they do. Tony Nathan will be the lone setback. Daniel Marino comes out over the center. And then they'll go to the run. Nathan got about 7 or 8 yards. Greenwood made the tackle, and the Dolphins will have to punt with time ticking under the 3-minute mark. And this will be Roby's first punt of the half. Rick Roby brings in an average of 45.8, which is tops in the entire NFL.
He just punishes the ball when he kicks it. It's amazing. You hear that sound when it comes off of his foot. You almost feel sorry for the football.
Wind has been a factor going in this direction, both on the punts and on the kickoffs. Let's see how Roby deals with that powerful leg. The deep man is Leon Bright. 2 fair catches in his entire career. One of them was last week. And it's a short punt. It takes a Dolphin bounce. Fielded well by Bright, but he's hit immediately and the ball is loose. Recovered by Tampa Bay. A flag down on the play. Everything happened on that one. 42-yard punt with a good bounce. And Moyer was the man to put the hit on Leon Bright. The ball came loose, but the Bucs recovered. They'll have it at their own 42-yard line with 2:12 to go. Pretty good field position. Penalty, however, is against Tampa Bay.
Now this is going to take them into a different area of the field. You know, if you're in that 40 to 50-yard area on either side of the 50-yard line, your offense is a little different than it is when you have to drop back to the 30 or the 35. Your
holding number 24, receiving team during the return. First down.
24 is Mike Pryor, reserve defensive back, called for holding on the return. So they'll start from the 32-yard line.
You know, one of the Lehman Bennett is a very classy guy. You know, he's so calm and relaxed, a very nice gentleman, and you almost wish that, you know, the team could win somewhere down the line or somewhere, because you know how much he wants it and the kind of quality person he is.
Well, I think they've got a good program under route. And don't forget they get a 1 and 2 from Miami for Hugh Green. They got rid of a discontented player, and they'll have 2 good picks as a result. That's Jerry Bell, and Bell picks up about 8 yards, close to the 39-yard line of Tampa Bay. Jerry Bell, number 82, 4-year man from Arizona State, and that brings us to the 2-minute warning here at the Orange Bowl. And the Miami Dolphins lead it 24-7.
Pride is back with Plymouth. Front-wheel drive Voyager, the Lion K, Turismo Duster 550 Protection.
Steve Young from the media in Tampa Bay and from some of the fans chanting as they did last week for Steve Young. And Bennett, as we said, still feels that Young isn't ready and believes that DeBerg can get it going. He said the season isn't gone. You know, we've got 10 more games to play. So we'll think about next year when the time is appropriate, and that maybe Steve Young will start to get some action. But we can remember the first game of the year when Steve DeBerg described how a quarterback in Tampa Bay just has to call a play. All of the terminology involved in simply calling it. That's really a complex system, and Steve Young's just simply not ready in the eyes of Coach Lehman Bennett. Here's Wilder. Wilder gets to the 45-yard line of Miami and a first down for Tampa Bay.
They need a little bit more than that, though. That's the problem. You see, Miami will allow you to get the 5 or 6 yards you're going to get on the draw play. They're just not going to give you the big clips in the air.
Betters and Brodzinski made the tackle. It's first down with 1:38 and counting down to the end of the first half. DeBerg gets time. Up the middle, it's complete. Gerald Carter for a first down to the 33-yard line. Make it the 32 of Miami. Bud Brown on the tackle. A 23-yard gain. And the Bucs in the hurry up with 1:20 to go. If they could get a touchdown here, things would be more interesting in the second half for Buccaneers fans.
It's funny, right after I got through saying they don't give you the big clips, they gave up one.
Each team has 2 timeouts left, and we've got 1:05 on the clock. Jerry Bell in motion behind the ball. DeBerg gets time, goes deep for Bell. It's too far. Well overthrown. DeBerg knew it as soon as he released it. Again, when you start to sail that ball up in that direction, then you're going to be wind aided anyway. Here in the Orange Bowl, the wind is really blowing behind you. So line drive ball will stay down, but when you try that one, you know the wind's going to be helping you more than you need.
That's right. You get that floater, and you can see the flag there. Just, it's pretty stiff. This wind is really coming in. I guess it's coming off the ocean, and it's going to cause some problems for those guys throwing in that direction. You have to take that into consideration.
2nd and 10 from the 32-yard line of the Dolphins. 55 seconds remaining on the clock. Don't forget Brent Nerve at halftime on the NFL Today. We'll catch you up with some exciting developments around the league today. Jerry Bell in motion. And the blitz, and it's Hugh Green. The ball came loose. And it is Tampa Bay ball. No, it's an incompleted pass.
His arm was in motion. His arm was coming forward when he got hit by Hugh Green. So they're not going to get, Miami's not going to get the football.
But Hugh Green got a real shot on his old quarterback.
He got a clean shot from the backside. You're going to see DeBerg get it right in the middle of his numbers. And the reason why, nobody, the guard you see in the middle of your screen looking inside, not turning back and looking for Hugh Green. And the result is a beautiful shot by Hugh Green on Steve DeBerg.
And you saw Doug Betters, big 265-pounder, arrive there too.
Clean shot. Those are the kinds of things you hate to see happen to a quarterback.
3rd and 10. That used up 5 seconds. Don McNeil in as a nickelback for the Dolphins. And he's got Jerry Bell. What a catch! Jerry Bell to the 10-yard line.
Beautiful
Double coverage by Brown and Langford, and he did a great job to hold on to that ball.
He really did. He came across and came into the middle of the field and held on to it. He really took a shot when he caught the ball. We're going to get a chance to see Steve DeBerg dropping back now. Before long, you're going to see Jerry Bell come into the middle of your screen. It was a beautiful pass, beautiful catch, even with all the other actions defensively. Took a nice shot that time.
Bell has caught 4 today for 69 yards, and he's got the Bucs in scoring position inside the 10 of Miami. 41 seconds remaining.
Tim, just to give you an example of how the terminology of their offense has changed for the Buccaneers. Last year, a play was called slot right 95. This year, it's triple right, slot zoom, action 40, 545, block check. What does that mean?
All of which has to be said by Steve DeBerg, the quarterback. And that literally calls every move of every player involved in the offensive play.
That's right. And it's a very complete system, but one of the problems is you're going to run against the 30-second clock all the time trying to get this in, particularly if you have somebody coming in from the sideline who can't remember what he's supposed to call.
So it's mainly a signal system for that reason that helps DeBerg out, but nonetheless, he's got to absorb it all, relay it to his teammates, and it's just a follow-up comment, really, to the reasons why they feel Steve Young isn't quite ready to handle that load. Now let's see whether DeBerg and company can get it into the end zone here and make the second half a little more interesting. He's got time. Into the corner, incomplete, intended for Kevin House. Langford, number 44, had the coverage.
If Langford had turned around a little bit faster, I think he'd had an interception that time. But of course, he's trying to follow man-to-man into the end zone, trying to follow Carter.
Paul Langford from Penn State, four-year man, working in the spot normally held down by Don McNeil, who had the knee injury, and still wearing one of the knee braces, was activated for this game and has seen some time in the nickel. We would expect that McNeil will have his corner job back as soon as he's fully healthy. Beaucamper is into the game. Defensively, hasn't played a lot in this first half. 2nd and 10. Flags down. The pass is complete to the 5-yard line. That's Jimmy Giles' first ball thrown to him in this half.
And you have a real good idea what this call is going to be. When it's down in that area, somebody made a mistake.
29 seconds left on the clock, and the penalty against Tampa Bay. Those are the things that hurt.
You know, it's often said the difference between winning and losing teams sometimes is you don't get those calls if you're winning, and you do if you're losing.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Number 70. Offense. Still 2nd down.
Well, they called a number 70, and there is none out there on the Bucs offensive line, but somebody was guilty of that. Must have got a hand up in the defender's face. And don't forget, we mentioned some interesting scores. The NFC East particularly had some exciting activity today in terms of upsets and so on, and the 49ers got beat. And Brent and Herb are going to tell you all about it when we go to our halftime show in just 29 seconds of playing time. 2nd down from the 20. Into the end zone for Jerry Bell, overthrown. Bell was deep. He had his man. Another flag down on the play.
I think Tampa's going to get another shot at it.
DeBerg had a great opportunity there. Couldn't get it to him. Holding this time against Miami. And there's Don Shula saying we are not supposed to get penalties.
That's right.
Must be a mistake, ref. There's
Holding
Jerry Seaman.
number 54. Defense. 1st down.
That's the rookie linebacker Alec Moyer from Northwestern, their number 3 choice this year, who's making his first appearance in the regular season. He's been on injured reserve. And Mac Moore comes out, number 91.
He's their
pass rush.
He's their pass rush specialist, and they got him out of the Canadian League, and they really feel very strongly about his ability to rush the passer.
So it's 1st and goal from the 15-yard line. 23 seconds to play first half. DeBerg for Bell. Can't hold on. Wilder, pardon me. James Wilder, number 32, the intended receiver. Couldn't hold on to the ball. The coverage from Bud Brown, number 43, the 2nd-year safety.
No, James Wilder really should have had this pass. It was in the right place in the right time. DeBerg threw it excellently. You know, he's had some problems throwing in the end zone, but there you can see Wilder in good position, a little high, but still those are the kind of plays he's supposed to make.
So it is 2nd and 10 from the 15-yard line. 17 seconds remaining. Tampa Bay getting their opportunities, and if they can get it into the end zone here, a 24-14 ball game would have a slightly different complexion for the second half. There's a man wide open. Touchdown, Giles.
Jimmy Giles.
Jimmy Giles, just the 2nd pass thrown to him today. And he was wide open. A defensive error in the part of the Miami secondary. Giles with all kinds of real estate to work with.
Well, somebody had to blow coverage on this because he's too wide open. He delayed a little bit, and then he got out there wide open. That's a mistake by someone, and believe me, Shula's going to be on that. Happy for Jimmy Giles, though.
Igwebuike comes in for the point after. So Tampa Bay fans can take heart because the margin with that point has now been reduced to 10. 12 seconds to play in the first half. And the Bucs went 68 yards in 9 plays. And DeBerg, with 8 passes, took it to the airwaves, and finally it paid off on the strike to Jimmy Giles from 15 yards away.
Now, this is really going to make things interesting for that second half, Tim. You know, they've pulled a little bit closer to Miami, and it's something that I'm sure that they didn't expect to do. And I know Miami's going to have to change around a little bit now. They're thinking to themselves, hey, these guys are for real. They can really play. They may be one of the best 0-6 teams in the league.
Well, that was kind of the consensus of the Miami players we talked to. They said, looking at the films all week, especially defensively, said they don't look like an 0-6 team. And I think everybody around the league agrees with that. Their personnel is better than it's been playing, and they've been mainly hurting themselves with miscues, penalties, mistakes, and so on. And at some point, you start putting things together. It's the kind of team that could easily win their next 3 or 4 if they could get the first one. They could wind up winning several in a row.
And that's got to be on Don Shula's mind. You know, he says, hey, look,
we don't want to be the first.
That's right.
Well, there we see 8 passes out of the 9 plays going the 68 yards. And Steve DeBerg, connecting with Jimmy Giles, sailed a couple of the longer, higher balls, seemed to take off on him, but he delivered the goods to Giles. Igwebuike will kick it off. The Nigerian-born kicker played his college ball at Clemson, and he nails that through the end zone. And the Dolphins, with 12 seconds, will have the ball at their 20-yard line.
You know, there's a funny story about Igwebuike in that he was brought over here by Tampa Bay's former kicker, and both of them ended up at Clemson, and now he's taken his job. So I'm sure these guys got to be thinking, hey, look, don't bring any friends over anymore.
Obed Oriri was his predecessor at Tampa Bay. There's Donald. Delightful young guy. Well, the Dolphins are just going to let it run out here, and time will tick away as Miami will take their lead into the locker room here at half. At the Orange Bowl in Miami, the Dolphins leading Tampa Bay 24-14. Just the 3rd time these teams have met in regular season play, and they're 1-1 in the last game between the two teams in 1976. The Dolphins won that 23-20. Now look at this first half here, Dan, because really you've got a pretty even game going here in every category, even including the time of possession, a 3-minute advantage there for the Dolphins, but 190 total yards to 175. The Buccaneers able to move the ball, part of it in that last possession. Granted, the turnover cost them 3 points, and the partially blocked punt in which the Dolphins went in from the 48-yard line of Tampa Bay in their first possession. But really, I think the difference so far has just been a very consistent offensive display by the part of the Dolphins. Not so much in yardage, but in their ability to strike. And
that's right. Well, see, they take advantage of every opportunity, at least they have in this game, and that's really the key.
Igwebuike again knocked it through the end zone, wind assisted. And so the Dolphins will start from their own 20-yard line to begin the second half. Dan Marino. Some last-second instructions from Don Shula, and John Sandusky comes onto the field.
You know, the impressive thing about Marino today is, you know, he's getting back into that form that he likes to be in, where he's throwing strikes and he's looking really crisp when he lets the ball go.
Well, yes, and again, those stats, as good as they are, include 3 drops. So he'd be really having a hot afternoon if they'd hung on to those. Nathan and Hampton are the running backs to start the second half. And then a quick pass out to Tony Nathan. Nathan dropped immediately by David Greenwood, the safety, a pickup of about 5. I was just so impressed talking with Dan Marino yesterday to try to find out if maybe his head has been turned a little bit by all of the fame and glamorous Miami. And, you know, he's really quite a remarkable young man, just 24 years of age. He's got a corporate empire out there with endorsements and so on going for him, and taking it all in stride, and very realistically saying, hey, when you're a quarterback on a winning team, those things happen for you. When you're not on a winning team, you're not playing well, they don't. That's just the truth.
And he's absolutely right.
Davenport, number 30, the rookie fullback, got over the 25-yard line. Pickup of only about a yard. A buck is down on the play.
Looks like Ron Holmes.
Holmes,
oh, no, maybe not.
It's Jeff Davis, the injured player. Holmes made the tackle on the play. And Jeff Davis had been bothered with a sore shoulder, and I'm not sure what this injury is. Now remember, they lost Brantley for much of the first half. He went down with a hip injury. And those are their two starting inside linebackers, and two darn good ones.
You know they can't afford to lose any more people. You know, if you're already in trouble in losing, and now you have some of your key people go down,
they've
really
had to, start this season without Leroy Selman and Mark Cotney. So we have college football for you next Saturday. Ohio State, the Buckeyes against the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Lou Holtz has really got everybody excited up in Minneapolis. I was up there last week during the NFL game, and there's a lot of college football talk with the Minnesota Golden Gophers. 5-1 along with Ohio State in the record department. The Buckeyes beat Purdue yesterday, and Minnesota beat Indiana. Carl Morgan comes in defensively. Two defensive backs on this 3rd and a long 4 for Miami out of the shotgun. Marino with time. Up the field to Rose. He's got the ball and falls down at the 32-yard line. Joe Rose, the tight end, had everybody beat, but he couldn't keep his balance, or he had nothing but real estate in front of him.
You're going to see Tampa coming with a 4-man rush for the first time today, really. And Marino gets hit late, but he lets this one go right down the middle, and here comes Joe Rose with a nice catch. Good yardage. And David Greenwood trailing far behind.
Rose trying to keep his balance there to try to get churning toward the end zone, but just couldn't stay up.
I saw Duper teasing him a little bit. He's probably saying, hey, you need a crutch out there or something.
Joe Rose, 6-year man from California. All right, the Dolphins, 42-yard gain. First down at Tampa's 33. Lots of time for Marino. Pass for Clayton complete. John Holt on the coverage. Mark Clayton with a first down inside the 15.
Holt's trying to act like, hey, didn't I knock him out before he caught the ball? But it's his actually, Holt's momentum took him out of Mark Clayton out off the field. So he turned his back. He had him turn. As soon as the defensive back turns that way, then you break out. He can't react fast enough to get back before the ball gets there. The whole idea for receivers is as soon as you can get that defensive back to turn his hips and start running, you've got it.
Good catch by Clayton. And a first down, Miami inside the 15 of Tampa Bay. Opening moments of the second half. Little mishandle on the play, but a good recovery and breaking to the goal line. Stopped at the 1-yard line, Tony Nathan.
Tony Nathan saying again, give me that foot. That's all I need to get in the end zone. It was a great play. Actually, Dan Marino didn't get the snap very cleanly, but when he did, he made the adjustment. That's a sign of a good quarterback. See, he's still got it back up to Nathan. Nathan hits inside, bounces out, keeps his balance, and he's gone. But again, he just needs that last couple of inches.
Morgan and Randall come in defensively. The ball is just outside the goal line. And the Dolphins again, in their first offensive possession, as they did in the first half, about to take it in. Jeff Taves has joined the offensive line, and diving into the end zone, Tony Nathan. Dolphins fans enjoying the performance by Marino and Nathan to open the second half.
We're going to get a chance to see Tony Nathan go airborne again. Marino with a handoff. Beautiful airborne shot. There he goes. Air Nathan over for the score. I know he's really pleased now. He finally got that last little foot.
Revés with a point after. The Dolphins go 80 yards in 5 plays. And they have taken now a 31-14 lead.
When you're Sandusky congratulating his offensive line and telling them that basically they're having a very nice day, and see Jeff Taves there talking. But you know, you've got to be proud when you're an offensive line and you're keeping your quarterback's uniform clean and you're scoring points. That's the whole idea of being an offensive line and getting that unit going again and the offense scoring.
Well, and they weren't happy with the performance on Monday night, but in this little drive here, 80 yards in 5 plays. They were flawless. The first 3 minutes of the second half at the Orange Bowl, Miami's widened the lead to 31-14, and it's Phil Freeman taking Revez's kickoff at the 5 and getting up short of the 20 to about the 17, where Lyle Blackwood, the elder brother of the Blackwood pair, makes the stop. And here's a look at Revez, one of 3 place-kicking brothers. And you can see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Miami Dolphins have both done awfully well on first down.
Well, you know, something that Lehman Bennett mentioned to us yesterday was that they've been passing more on first down than they really wanted to. And they were going to try to go to the run a little bit more in that area.
Well, and we see today their passing and run yardage changing a little bit. Play selection, rather, on first down. Let's see what they do here on first down. They're trailing now. That changes some things, but they go to Wilder. Wilder's got a good hole off tackle, and he'll pick up about 8 yards before Jackie Shipp, number 50, hauls him down, along with Mark Brown, Bud Brown.
You know, one of the nice things about James Wilder is he gets stronger as the second half goes on. I think you're going to see him pushing the ball upfield a little bit more as the second half develops.
Rick Mallory, we note, continues at right guard for Tampa Bay, replacing Sean Farrell, who you saw on the bench in the second period with a hamstring muscle pull rap. Wilder has 75 yards now on 14 carries. And there he is again, plowing for the first down yardage, and he'll be close. The last 2 weeks, as we pointed out, he's been held well under the 100-yarders he was churning out. He had 49 against the Rams and only 29 against Chicago 2 weeks ago.
Well, you know, a lot of times what it takes, too, is, you know, you kind of get the idea that you're going to run the ball a little bit more. You get into that mindset, and it makes the going a lot easier as for an offense.
First down, Tampa Bay at their own 28-yard line. Wilder fell into second place behind McNeil with his 49-yard day because Freeman McNeil had 173 Monday night against the Dolphins. Play action. DeBerg has got his man, and it's Jerry Bell. Bell close to midfield. But a hit right at the sideline marker from Hugh Green, his old Buck teammate, and William Judson, a 20-yard gain on the play.
Tim, this time George Little pushed across the line of scrimmage and got some penetration. Here you see him in the middle, number 99. We'll get back to him again. He's putting pressure on DeBerg. DeBerg able to roll out and get it off to Jerry Bell. But that's one of the things they need from their nosemen. You know, they got to have somebody that's putting pressure on the backfield and making things happen.
Jerry Bell is 5 catches today and 89 yards, getting a well-deserved little breather. First down, Buccaneers marching upfield at their own 48. DeBerg for Kevin House. First down, Buccaneers to the 32-yard line.
See, that's all that DeBerg needed is just, you know, drop back, throw the ball a little bit, have some fun, and be loose.
20-yard gain again. Judson and Bud Brown on the coverage.
Again, he's throwing it to that outside area on the numbers, and that's going to be open because those guys are dropping back in those zones.
The ball at the 33-yard line of Miami. Calvin McGee in the lineup for Jerry Bell. They give it to Wilder. Wilder's got blocking. Takes it wide right. Flag is down. Wilder gets close to the 25-yard line. Glenn Blackwood, number 47, on the stop for Miami. Let's see who the infraction is against.
You know, they're going back to that counter play again, pulling the backside guard and tackle. It's the favorite of a lot of teams in the league now. But you just can't afford to have these kinds of penalties down there on you, though.
It is against the Buccaneers. They had a good drive going, and now we'll back it up 10 yards.
Holding, number 86. Offense, still first down.
Well, that's Calvin McGee, who had come in to give Jerry Bell a little rest, and the 5th penalty taken by the Bucs. And Miami also has 5. As Lehman Bennett says, gosh, gang, we had it moving there. Let's see if we can get it right back.
They're hurting themselves again, and that's something they can't afford to do in this ball game, not against Miami.
Slot formation left. Wilder the lone setback. Wilder trying to go straight ahead, is stacked up in the middle. Jackie Shipp, the linebacker, number 50, the number 1 choice from Oklahoma last year. Chuck Studley, their defensive coordinator, calls him the key to the 1985 defense of the Miami Dolphins. That's quite a tribute, and certainly puts a little heat on a second-year player, but the younger guard of the Dolphins certainly represents their future, and Baumhauer hurt, hasn't been able to play yet. These young guys have got to deliver. There's Studley.
There's Chuck Studley over there. He's saying, hey, guys, great job. Just make sure you stop him again. Actually, what happened on that play was George Yarno was pulling from the backside, tripped going through the hole, and everybody stacked up on him.
Beaucamper has come in. He's been used sparingly with his injuries. There's Jimmy Giles. He's open. Giles, what a move. Giles, touchdown.
Across the plane, touchdown.
Jimmy Giles. Yeah, that fumble, that won't matter. He was in the end zone. What a play by Giles, and there's Steve DeBerg saying, thanks, pal, I needed that.
The Jimmy Giles limo service.
That's right, he drove the limo right into the end zone. So the Buccaneers refuse to quit.
You see DeBerg dropping back, and Giles is wide open, splitting the seam down the middle again. The linebacker can't get there. Nice move, and he's able to avoid a couple of tackles.
That was Blackwood. Glenn Blackwood, he carried into the end zone. He saw that end zone, and Steve DeBerg saw him go in.
DeBerg high five. It looked a little low to me, though.
Igwebuike has the point after for the Buccaneers. And so with 8:15 to go here in the third period, the Dolphins 31, Tampa 21. The football twice to this young man. Both times he was in the end zone. Jimmy Giles, 39 yards for the score, his longest catch of the season, and the first touchdowns he has scored so far this year for Tampa Bay. Hasn't received a whole lot of pass catching action, and told us yesterday he was ready to get a few. Well, was he ever? A bouncing kickoff from Igwebuike is taken by Hampton. The rookie gets out over the 20-yard line and is stacked up there. And we see the Bucs went 82 yards in 6 plays. 3 runs by Wilder, 3 passes by DeBerg, using up 3:45 on the clock, and they're back to a 10-point deficit. There is no quit in these Buccaneers despite their record, and we keep talking about Bennett's attitude. It has been transferred to his players. We talked to any number of them yesterday. They don't feel badly about themselves. They feel bad about the record, and there's a distinct difference.
That's right, and they're really showing it today, I think, second half.
Dan Marino has been the hot man for the Dolphins. We've been going up and down the field here. 2 consecutive series for touchdowns, one by Miami, one by Tampa Bay as we opened the third period. Tony Nathan picked up about 3 yards on that carry. Ron Holmes on the tackle.
You know, Dwight Stevenson must be doing a heck of a job, because we really haven't heard from David Logan today. You know, they're both Pro Bowlers and all of that, but it's amazing that, you know, we actually haven't heard Logan's name called very often today.
There's Stevenson. And as I said, there's a pair of them who are getting to know each other very well this afternoon. They each said good things about the other guy. They knew they were in for a tough battle here today, and I guess we'd have to give the edge to Stevenson so far. Larry Cuban has come in at linebacker for Jeff Davis, who's out with an injury, and of course Brantley left back in the second quarter, and Cecil Johnson is working in his spot. So the starting linebackers of the Bucs are both out. A delay on the field here from the officials, and now we're ready to play. 2nd and 7, Miami. Clayton in motion behind the ball. Again, time, and a first really bad pass that Marino's thrown all day. Well, try to get it to Clayton.
This time Dan Marino had what they call an M&M blitz. The 2 inside linebackers shooting the holes that they're standing over the guards. Both of them came that time and had a little pressure inside.
Cuban and Johnson were the rushers. Denver leading Seattle 10-0 in the third period. The Seahawks been a little up and down this season. They're at 4-2. And the Jets in New England, this of interest to the Dolphin fans. They're tied at 6. An interesting struggle when you consider the offense the Jets showed on Monday night against Miami. They've only got 6 points so far. Looks like Marino maybe calling an audible on this shotgun play up the middle to Joe Rose. First down, Miami near midfield. Sully made the initial hit. 24-yard gain. Well, if Dan Marino did, in fact, change that play at the line of scrimmage, he made a good call.
He absolutely did. You know, he saw that they were number one in the four-man line. It came with the twist. Marino read the defense very well, though. Checked off. Joe Rose gets a nice catch downfield.
Joe Rose, 28 years old, a 6-year man from California. Greenwood made the tackle on him. Rose has got 2 catches for 66. Had that chance at a touchdown, but fell down, trying to keep his balance on the last catch. This is Davenport. Davenport plows for about 5 yards. Both Davenport and Woody Bennett have ankle injuries, and Bennett hasn't played at all. He missed Monday night's game. Davenport's obviously not quite as serious, but he's not running at 100%, this youngster from Louisville. There's Woody Bennett, 7-year man from Miami.
You know, one of the things that Don Shula does so well, though, is in the personnel area, he's always covering himself, having good athletes available to play when the front line goes down, and he practices in that way.
2nd down and 6. Short drop by Marino. Quick flare out for Tony Nathan, and the ball didn't arrive for him. Got a hand on it, that was all.
He had Chris Washington coming in his face, putting a little pressure on him. I'm sure he couldn't peek out there and see Nathan as well as he'd like to.
Chris Washington in Hugh Green's old spot on the right side, having shifted from the left. That opened a job over there, and Keith Browner has been sharing that with Irvin Randall, the rookie from Baylor. Here's Randall in there now.
You know, sometimes when you lose a great player like Hugh Green, everybody pulls together and makes the defensive unit a little bit better. And it's really surprising, but that's the way it works on a team.
3rd and 5, Miami. Somewhat of a big play in this game right now. Lots of time for Marino. He's got his man and a 1st down. Johnson made the tackle on Nathan, but Nathan made sure he was over that marker when he made the turn to catch the ball. And so the Dolphins keep the drive alive with 5:35 remaining, 3rd period.
You know, Dan Marino almost looks like he's playing sandlot. He's back there, he's pumping the ball, got plenty of time, got all day really to throw. Finds Nathan over the middle open. Beautiful play. And now you see David Logan against Dwight Stevenson. Dwight's manhandling today. Dwight's a very, very strong center and very active for a center.
Woody Bennett in the backfield, Jensen in at receiver. They give it to Hampton. Hampton got a good block, and Hampton tears upfield to the Tampa 27-yard line. Ivory Sully made the tackle.
And here's Hampton coming, Lorenzo Hampton coming right at you out into your living room. Roy Foster around on the sweep. They didn't go outside, as you saw Taves running outside. He decided to tuck it up in, saw the hole develop inside, and was able to make good yardage on the play.
11-yard gain, and Woody Bennett, his ankle may be a little too sore to run with the football, but he got far enough to throw that block on Irvin Randall that sprung Hampton right on the corner. 1st down, Miami driving again. Out to Clayton. Clayton trying to shake loose from Holt, can't do it, but he'll be about 2 yards short of another Miami 1st down.
He's got Holt a little gun shy now. You see every time he's driving at Holt, you know, he's starting to take off a little bit and turn his back, and then he's, you know, Clayton's just making a break off of that, and he's wide open.
Clayton has seen a lot of double coverage in the first 6 games of the season.
I know he misses his buddy Duper, though.
4 catches today, and he's now up to 31 on the season. Marino for Hardy, incomplete.
You know, one of the things that Tampa's doing in their secondary is they'd like to go number 1 with a double on Clayton, but if there's a shift in the offense or something, they're rotating the secondary around, and you'll see the safeties coming up on the strong side. And that's one of the things that's been working for them a little bit this afternoon.
3rd and a long yard. Marino, 18 of 26 so far with 2 touchdowns, has not thrown an interception. Ball at the 19-yard line. And again, a key play here for the Buccaneers, particularly. If they can stop the Dolphins, they can stay in the football game. And timeout is called by the Miami Dolphins. So Dan Marino didn't like something he saw. And he'll come over and talk it over with Shula, which indicates they feel it's a big play. We'll be right back. Eastern time, Ohio State beat Purdue yesterday, and Minnesota defeated Indiana. They're both 5-1, a big game in the Big Ten. All right, 3rd down and 2. This is Hampton. He's got it, and then some. Hampton falls down at the 4-yard line. Sully forcing him to go wider than he wanted to, and he lost his balance, or he would have been in the end zone.
So we're going to get a look at a toss play. Now you watch Marino tossing the ball back to him. Woody Bennett throws a key block in here that springs him around the corner. There you see the key block right there. Took out 2 guys, really, and Lorenzo Hampton's able to make good yardage on the play.
12 carries, 78 yards for the rookie Hampton. Carl Morgan comes in to make 5 down linemen here as the Dolphins are on the doorstep again. A big 3rd down play. They converted and have themselves ready to go in. Rolling is Marino. Touchdown! Bruce Hardy. It's been a shootout in the Orange Bowl. They're taking turns marching it down the field for touchdown.
You know, Dan Marino's there. Nice rollout, and Hardy's really, you know, he's hungry for a touchdown pass, as he kind of intimated to us earlier. Good play. This Dan Hardy getting a break now. Got to get that breather before the action starts again.
For the point after, Fuad Reveiz. Non-stop holding. If you like offense, we've had it in the Orange Bowl. 2:46 to play, 3rd quarter. Miami 38, Tampa 21.
Out for last year, that's the middle really of around the knee area between the thigh bone and the shin bone. And he practiced earlier this week with a brace on, but I guess they just felt he wasn't ready to go. And you can see Bowser has a great big huge looking ankle. That's because he wears this semi-cast on it. But they really missed those 2 guys.
Duper, in his case, he'll probably be the last move that they'll be able to make, getting somebody back from injured reserve without having them clear waivers, since they took 3 men off for this game. On the kickoff, Freeman took the high, short kickoff by Reveiz and gets it out to the 34-yard line of Tampa Bay. Robin Senline made the tackle, a former Minnesota Viking linebacker. And the Dolphins went 79 yards in 10 plays, 7 of them passes. Another injured Buccaneer is down, and that is Leon Bright, the return man, number 29. He and Freeman are the punt and kick returners.
And, you know, Leon Bright is one of those kind of guys that's really valuable to a team, because you know the service that he does for them catching those punts and whatnot. He's the kind of guy that you really can't afford to lose in a game like this, because you need every yard you can get at this point.
Well, and defensively, they've already lost Brantley and Jeff Davis. They're 2 starting inside linebackers, really the heart of that 3-4 defense. And offensively, they've lost Sean Farrell in this game, probably their best offensive lineman, and they've got Rick Mallory in his spot. So today has been devastating for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the injury department, as if things have not gone badly enough for them in terms of the non-victory department. A reminder as they attend to Leon Bright that our football action will be followed by 60 Minutes. And then Murder, She Wrote, Crazy Like a Fox, and Trapper John M.D. Things have cooled off here in the Orange Bowl, and that's the reason. And there's Bright on his feet, we're happy to say. And see, things have cooled off as they start these games at 4 o'clock on some of these real hot weather days in Miami. And by the second half, it's really quite pleasant, as it has turned out to be this evening.
I love the way those palm trees move in the breeze, Tim. Just thinking 2 more months, I'll see up north of snow.
You want to move here?
Well, I don't know.
All right, 1st down. This is Wilder. Wilder shakes off 1 tackler and then is snowed under. George Little, the rookie from Iowa. Mark Brown, the linebacker, number 51. Little getting all of the action on the nose, or most of it today, because of the injury to Kim Bokamper's neck and ribs. Mike Charles has moved over to the right side. He practiced there all week. Bokamper has been in, but not on a regular basis.
Mike Charles is called the minister of enthusiasm for the Dolphins, and as you can know, you know by our conversations with him, he's quite a guy.
Yeah, he said, I don't really care to practice against Dwight Stevenson every day either. He said, I had to get ready against Stevenson all week, and then had to face Webster of Pittsburgh, Mike Webster. He said, that's a tough week's work.
I'm telling you.
Play action to Berg for Giles. Giles with a first down for Tampa Bay inside the 50-yard line. Bob Brodzinski made the tackle. So these Buccaneers just refused to lie down. They've been scoring points. They've got 3 touchdowns. 12-yard gain on that one to midfield.
DeBerg did something very nice that time on the play action. When he comes through and he fakes the ball to the halfback, he sets that ball on his hip so the defense can't really read whether or not he's carrying out a fake or he's really got the ball. That sets up the play action, and that's like when they were open.
First down. Wilder trying to get wide. At the block from Giles and picked up about 5. A flag on the play. Giles was trying to block 2 Dolphins, and we'll see which way the penalty goes. It's going to go against Giles, I believe. Jackie Shipp made the tackle on Wilder downfield.
I saw George Yarno running over there trying to tell the official to put the flag back in his pocket or something. Because they're on a drive now. They don't want to get stopped by something like this.
Well, I think that was a question of there's Yarno, and it looked to me like Giles had to deal with 2 guys.
Number 88, offense, still first down.
It's tough enough to block 1 guy, so I'm sure it was probably an instinctive grab at a piece of the other guy.
I said, hey, you know, there were 2 of them, so I had to use my hands. Give me a break.
DeBerg so far is 4 of 4 in this second half and a touchdown. He's got 2 touchdowns passing on the day. Wilder has the other one running. Marino's passed for 3 touchdowns. 57 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. 38-21 Dolphin lead. Lots of time for DeBerg, and it is complete. Jimmy Giles, his 3rd catch. To the 45-yard line. Was that ball tipped by a Dolphin before it got there? It's directly in front of my view here, and it looked like it might have been deflected a little. Let's see.
No, what happened was Jimmy Giles reached back and one-handed it.
Wow!
Actually snatched it.
What a
back.
great catch. Jackie Shipp was very close to tipping it, but I don't think he did. I think Giles just scooped it in with one hand. Terrific catch. Blackwood and Judson pulled him down. Giles' 4th catch of the afternoon for 81 yards. 2 touchdowns. Superb catch. 2nd and 5. DeBerg gets time, and it is incomplete. Just overthrown.
Well, you know, if you saw that time, Hugh Green came on the blitz again, but James Wilder was waiting there for him.
And it was intended for Jerry Bell. So the gun sounds. The end of the 3rd quarter. The score, Miami 38, Tampa Bay 21.
Here comes Hugh Green.
We now pause for a word from your local station. Tim Ryan and Dan Jiggins, we begin the 4th quarter with Miami leading 38-21. Tampa Bay has the football, and they have no intention of giving up on this one. They've been moving the football, and they have it in Dolphin territory. DeBerg intended for Giles, and evidently a miscue on the route there. It goes incomplete.
Yeah, he had to throw him a little bit, but you know, it's always one of those things where you can't blame it on one guy or the other unless you know the offense well enough. Jimmy's smiling like, well, we'll get it the next time.
So Tampa Bay will have to punt. They're only 1 of 5 on those 3rd down conversions, and that one was a fairly important one. Miami has showed a very consistent offense this afternoon, bouncing back from their loss at the hands of the New York Jets on Monday night. They've scored on almost every possession. Garcia's punt angled, trying to hit the corner, landed right on the goal line, but will go into the end zone. And a touchback. Frank Garcia, Gobi and Garcia, 2 of the premier punters in football, but they haven't really had too many punts today. That was a 45-yarder. Well, Sean Farrell, your buddy from Long Island, Dan Jiggets, has had to take off the uniform, and you know how that pains him as much as his hamstring does right now.
Absolutely, you know, because he's one of those kind of guys that comes to play every down, every game, and that's just the kind of person he is. He's very intense and loves to play the game. And
Plus,
it's really,
he's not getting his Hugh Green time if he's out of uniform.
That's right. He was really looking forward to mixing it up a little bit with you.
First down, Dolphins from their own 20-yard line. Jensen in motion back to the ball. They give to Tony Nathan. Nathan picks up a yard or two out the right side. And Keith Browner made the tackle. The linebacker number 57 on the left side. And it looks like we still have Kubin and Johnson. We'll double check that. Both Davis and Brantley, the starting inside linebackers, injured. Larry Kubin picked up on as a free agent from Washington. 4-year man from Penn State. And it looks like what they've done now is to use Randall, Washington, Johnson, and Browner as the linebackers. And a loose ball. Let's see whether Tampa Bay, yes, Tampa Bay came up with a turnover.
Tim, what may have happened that time is Marino looked like he was checking off. He looked over the defense, may have checked off, and somebody missed the snap count.
John Cannon came up with the ball for Tampa Bay, and they usually give them away. They're glad to get one. Don Shula's not so pleased.
As here, you're going to see on the exchange, the quarterback exchange, he started to pull out before the ball was snapped. He couldn't get back down to Dwight Stevenson to get the ball.
Well, you know, through 3 quarters, there has not been a big statistical differential. 323 yards for Miami, 297 for Tampa Bay. The difference is just on the scoreboard. And that interception by Hugh Green getting them a field goal, and the tip punt setting up their first score. Otherwise, Tampa Bay has played them pretty evenly, but that's been the story of Tampa Bay all season long. And Wilder is dropped for a loss. Little and Jackie Schiff come pouring in.
That's kind of unbelievable to see somebody George Little size catch James Wilder, but he came across, made good penetration on the play, and that's why he was able to chase him down from the backside.
Loss of 5, and Wilder with 79 yards now on the game. Will leave a 2nd and 15 at the 26. We're just underway in the final period of regulation time. Charles continues at right end defensively for the Dolphins instead of the injured Baker, with George Little, a rookie from Iowa, on the nose. Wilder is carried on every down, something that has been not uncommon for him this season. The pass intended for Giles. Giles seemed a little surprised to see the ball there because he had a chance to catch it.
Yeah, he was a little involved in a push-off trying to get off and get into his route. And as a result, he had his back turned because he spent a little bit too much time into the route. And just turn around, the ball's already there.
That was Hugh Green who had the coverage. It'll leave 3rd and 15. Giles with 2 touchdown catches already. And an interesting young man with a lot of things going in the future that he's already started during his football career. His limousine service is a big success in Tampa and St. Pete. And now he's into an optical shop. He's quite an entrepreneur. McNeil and Sowell come in defensively into the secondary along with Bill Barnett. Gerald Carter, Theo Bell, and Kevin House, 3 wide receivers. Another big 3rd down, some early movement. Whistles, flags, arm waving, all kinds of things going down there except any football action.
It's always funny now. After this play, you'll always see the defense blaming the offense and vice versa.
Prior to the snap, number 88, offense, still 3rd down.
Jimmy Giles is the culprit, and Lehman Bennett shakes his head. Boy, we get something going, we come up with a turnover, and we wind up going backwards.
You know, when you get a penalty like that, if you're in the offensive huddle, a lot of times guys are trying to encourage you and say, hey, look, no problem, we'll get it back. Because they know if you let it sit on your mind and it'll hurt you in the next play, you can't let it go then, and you're not able to concentrate on the next set of downs.
Well, they had the ball at the 21-yard line of Miami following the fumble recovery by John Cannon, and now here they are, 3rd and nearly 20. But he finds an open man. Carter down the sideline. Danson can't stay in bounds. He'll be close to the 1st down marker near the 10-yard line. Let's see where they spot the ball.
Gerald Carter was so close to going all the way and scoring. It's just a shame he couldn't keep his momentum. It's a shame he couldn't keep his momentum inside the field instead of off the field.
First down, however, 22-yard gain.
It's a nice look. Gerald Carter, unfortunately, is not, I don't think he's on this replay, but anyway, he came down, broke across. Here he is now just in the bottom of your screen. He's going to come across, cannot keep his feet in bounds, but an excellent play because of the blow. He couldn't stay in bounds too long, but it was a nice play. He got some good yardage out of it.
It was Don McNeil who forced him out, but the Buccaneers first down in scoring territory. Pitch out to Wilder. Wilder with blockers, turns it upfield and picks up maybe 3 yards. Might have gone wider that time because he had 2 blockers working outside for him. Turned it upfield, and Hugh Green and Jackie Shipp combined to stop him. Don Shula does not look very relaxed about things. There's a lot of time left in this game, 12:36.
I don't think he's too comfortable right now. You know, you make a turnover. That's their first one today, by the way. But, you know, that kind of thing happens. And you don't know coming down the line, a team like Tampa is fairly explosive offensively. And you let them get that breath of fresh air, and you have trouble in your hands.
Wilder backed up to 81 yards. Inside the 10-yard line. Second down, play action to Berg. Got a man in the end zone. Touchdown! What a catch by Jimmy Giles. His 3rd touchdown of the game and his 2nd circus catch.
You see what I mean, though? You make a mistake sometimes. You can come back and you know, revive yourself after the mistake. Shula is really upset now, but this is Jimmy Giles. High fives all the way around. We're going to get a shot of Jimmy Giles breaking off the line. DeBerg with an excellent fake again. Those play-action fakes set him up very nicely. Gets the ball off to Giles, who's in heavy traffic, but he makes a great catch there for the score.
Well, that's a terrific throw by DeBerg as well.
It really was.
And Igwebuike comes up with the point after, and we've got ourselves a football game again. 10-point differential, 12:08 to play regulation time. Miami 38, Tampa Bay 28.
Over 100 years ago, Frederick Miller started
Time with Dan Jiggets, and that touchdown by Jimmy Giles is 3rd of the game. The only other man to achieve that was wide receiver Morris Owens for the Buccaneers, also against the Miami Dolphins, and that was back in 1976. The first meeting between the two teams. They met again in 1982, and this is just the 3rd meeting in regular season. 10-point differential. Igwebuike, good kick. The wind has died down a little, and he got some leg in it. It's bobbled in the end zone by Hampton, who will now not even think about bringing it out. So the Dolphins will start from their 20-yard line. They hold the lead as the Buccaneers went 21 yards following the fumble recovery. 3 passes, 2 runs by Wilder, and the 3rd touchdown pass of the game, all 3 of them for the Buccaneers, to Jimmy Giles.
You see Dan Marino, he says, hey, look, we're going back to the air, fellas. So offensive linemen, get your pass protection shoes on, and my receiver's getting ready to run because we got to put some more points on the board now.
Well, he's been able to march down the field almost at will, and he has 3 touchdown passes of his own. Marino has been super sharp. First down. Up the middle, almost picked off. Almost picked off by the linebacker Browner. Keith Browner, number 57. Great anticipation. He had that play figured all the way.
Really, you know, one of the interesting things we're going to get to see here in a second is that these linebackers now have stopped dropping so deep. You see him in a quick drop, checks up, comes back, man-on-man coverage, and he almost gets the interception. He's had some bad luck with interceptions and things the last couple of weeks.
That was Hardy, the tight end, the intended receiver. Yes, he dropped that one last week against the Rams. It went through the end zone, turned into a touchback. They lost possession, and that was a real tough break. Inside handoff. Tony Nathan breaks 1 tackle, used the official as a blocker, and picked up another couple. Ivory Sully pulled him down. It'll leave a 3rd down and 2. 64 yards rushing on 11 carries for Tony Nathan.
Here comes the old man, Nat Moore. You know, it seems like Nat's been around for ages. I remember he was playing, I think, when I was in high school. But he's still out there, still going at it.
In his 12th year from Florida.
The beautiful part about it is he's been able to play college and pro football at home.
Moore and Harris really represent the old receiving core of the Dolphins. Quick pass out to Moore, and he's got the first down. John Holt had the coverage. Nat Moore moves the Dolphins upfield.
You know, one of the things Don Shula really likes is players who are intelligent and know how to, you know, they have a very good grasp of the game. They understand it very well. You see Don Strock, he's been around for ages too. When Don Shula gets a hold of these kinds of players, he keeps them around.
And you mentioned that their practice habits too, how they get all of the second team players involved in the actual game plan for the week. Not all the head coaches around the league do that.
That's right, and then the problem is if you have somebody go down, the second team guy's not ready to play. And that's just the opposite of the Dolphins. They're ready.
Davenport hit right at the line of scrimmage. Straightened up and flung down by Cecil Johnson, the 9-year veteran from Pittsburgh. One of the old-timers on the Bucs team going back to the early days, signed as a free agent in 1977. Buccaneers are in their 10th year.
You know, Cecil's stock has kind of rose and fallen with the Buccaneers as time has gone by. I remember about 3 or 4 years ago, he was a very hot linebacker for them, and you know, with all the changes and things, he's kind of moved around a little bit, but he stayed in there, stayed tough.
Oh yeah, he's a great team player, and that's why he's there. 2nd and 11. Marino, it's tipped and intercepted. Castile out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. Cecil Johnson got the tip on it, the man we had just been talking about. And Jeremiah Castile comes down with it. So Tampa Bay now is throwing a mighty scare into the Dolphins.
You know, one of the things that happened was that the defensive line at Tampa Bay ran a stunt. You'll see that in the middle of your screen. You see Logan come around, and suddenly somebody's in Dan Marino's face. He's got a hand at the ball. Cecil tips it, and here comes Jeremiah Castile with a tipped interception. Nice play. He kept his eyes on the ball and kept tapping it around until he got a chance to get a good grip on it. And there's Cleveland Green chasing him out of bounds.
So the Buccaneers first down at the 38-yard line of the Miami Dolphins. 10:25 still to play, 4th quarter. Dolphins by 10. The crowd comes alive, exhorting the Dolphins defense. Play action. DeBurr complete. Jimmy Giles, first down, Miami, 27-yard line. Mark Brown on the tackle, number 51.
Hey, Tim, this joint is jumping now. No one expected this, I don't think, here in Miami. You see DeBurg dropping back. He finds his favorite target for the day, Jimmy Giles. He's having a heck of a day with 3 touchdowns already. He's staying very active.
The ball at the 27 of Miami. The lights are on at the Orange Bowl. And you see the tight ends have been the big action receivers for Tampa Bay today. Wilder, he's got a hole. Wilder gets about 6, maybe 7 near the 20-yard line. Hugh Green and Mark Brown on the tackle.
You know, one of the things that's really kind of uplifting about the way the Buccaneers are playing is that, you know, the team that's 0-6 and they could have gone down to 2s after the first half. They came back. They have a lot of heart and a lot of desire, and that's something that's really nice to see in a team that, you know, and that goes back to Lehman Bennett and his coaching.
It sure does. They've lost 3 starters in this football game, as we've commented. Sean Farrell from the offense and the 2 linebackers, Brantley and Davis. But they're playing to win. 87 yards rushing for Wilder. Wilder works his way through the middle and has the first down. Beautiful cut on the inside. Jackie Shipp pulled him down from behind. Well, you know, and it's a first down inside the 15.
Everyone says about Wilder, he's the kind of back that can do almost anything. He's so versatile. Can go outside, has decent speed outside, and yet still can go in the middle with 225 pounds and make good yardage in the tough area right in the middle.
93 yards on 21 carries. He has been the only ball carrier on the ground. And the 2 coaches wondering what is left in a game that has had everything. 8:30 to play and counting. Wilder hit behind the line and dropped for a loss. 3 Dolphins were in there, led by George Little, the rookie from Iowa, their number 2 pick. He's had most of the action at nose tackle today because of the injury to Kim Bocamper. Charles playing outside at right end. Loss of 1.5 yards.
Mark Brown and Hugh Green came in and also gave him company in the backfield on, you know, basically a blitz right off the ball. It's a read blitz kind of thing where they see it's going to be a run play. They're coming across the line of scrimmage and making something happen.
2nd and 12. Plays signaled in from the sidelines by the quarterbacks, Risher and Young, with Jimmy Ray, the offensive coordinator, leaning on his crutches. The broken leg suffered in the car accident. DeBerg. Giles. Giles will score. Touchdown.
Jimmy Giles, 4 TDs today.
Giles juggled that ball, brought it down, maintained possession, broke a tackle, got away from Jackie Shipp and Glenn Blackwood, and takes it in for his 4th score.
Jimmy Giles is having an unbelievable day. Breaks down, pushes off the linebacker Jackie Shipp, gets the ball, juggles it a little bit, and that probably helped him more than hurt him. Was able to avoid the tackle and take it in for the TD. Unbelievable day for Jimmy Giles.
Well, he had tied the club record for touchdowns in a game. He now calls it his own. 4 touchdowns for Jimmy Giles, and we've got ourselves a football game. It's been a football game all along when you think about it.
You know, the funny thing was yesterday Jimmy Giles told us that the priest said they were going to win. The priest of Mississippi.
That's right.
Was right.
And his parents are here watching this game from Mississippi. We'll be right back. To buy sunglasses at Jimmy's shop tomorrow, the way he's playing, Dan.
I'm telling you, you know, it's funny, the other day he told us about his mother coming from Mississippi and her having talked to the priest before she left, and he gave her a blessing and said that the Buccaneers are going to win, and certainly they're going a long way towards that today.
They trail by 3. Igwe Buike's kickoff taken in the end zone by Hampton, who will not bring it out. He's 5 yards deep, and the Dolphins will start from their 20-yard line. We have had a quarterbacks duel today. DeBerg and Dan Marino. Marino has been razor sharp until the last pass, the interception by Castile that set up the touchdown that has brought Tampa Bay to within 3 points. 2 turnovers by the Dolphins have resulted in 14 Tampa points, and the Hugh Green interception produced only a field goal. And in many ways, that was a very big series of defensive plays, keeping them out of the touchdown on that series. This is Hampton. Hampton picks up about 4. A flag is down as he got near the 25. Irvin Randall, the rookie linebacker from Baylor, and there's a little extra added scuffling going on downfield.
You don't have to be too brave to go after the smallest guy on the field, Mark Clayton. Give him a break, guys.
Steve DeBerg is 15 of 26, 269 yards and 4 touchdowns. Clearly his best day of the season. Holding is signaled against the Dolphins. Dan Marino is 20 of 30, 219 yards and 3 touchdowns. And again, we reiterate that Dan has had 3 clean drops on him, so he could be having an even better day.
Holding, number 57, offense, still first down.
Don Shula watched his team come out here in the second half and continue their fine offensive play they had going in the first half, scoring on their first 2 possessions. However, on the last 2, they have had a fumble and an interception, and that's put the Bucs back in the game. 7:05 remaining, 4th quarter. Marino, screen pass. Nathan gets the blocks and picks up about 8 of the 10 they were set back with because of the holding penalty. Logan made the tackle.
Tim, Nathan was very lucky on that screen pass because he did not wait for the offensive lineman to get out so it could develop a little bit. He kind of took off ahead of Giesler, and as a result of that, he didn't have the blocking that he might have had he waited just another split second to allow those big men to get out in front of it.
Raymond Bennett showing confidence in his rookie linebacker Randall, opting to use him instead of the newcomer Larry Cuban, but Cuban a more experienced player in the league. With the injuries to Brantley and Davis, Randall getting full-time duty. Marino gets time, a man open in the middle. Short of the first down, but Nathan picked up another 8 yards and took a pretty good shot on the play.
He sure did, but you know, they're working again in that little intermediate area in the middle of the field where they know those linebackers are both turning their backs and running to their zones, which are outside, then having to react and come back to the ball.
It'll be 3rd and 3, 5:54 to go. Biggest defensive situation of the game for the Buccaneers. Dolphins are 8 of 10 on 3rd down. They've got Washington working inside with Davis, the Buccaneers do, with Randall outside. And the blitz is on. A flag is down. The pass complete. First down yardage for Miami. Nat Moore
they got a free play that time. I think Logan was offside.
To the 37-yard line. If that's the case, they'll take that gain. So the Dolphins have been able to be very consistent on those third down plays when they've had to. Barry Seaman.
Defense, penalty decline.
They didn't hear the call, but we're going to suggest that it was David Logan. A little eager to make the big play there because that was a big third down situation. So the Dolphins survive it.
You know, sometimes you get in that situation, you try to anticipate the snap count to make the big play, and occasionally you guess wrong, but yeah, he's a great player, and he's always going to be, you know, out there making things happen. It's just too bad he got caught that time.
First down, Miami at their own 38-yard line. Bennett and Hampton now the running backs. This is Lorenzo Hampton running behind Bennett. And a big hit on him right at the line of scrimmage by Jeremiah Castile.
Did you see who else was in on the play? David Logan, sideline.
He's got tremendous range for a nose tackle.
You know, we're going to get a shot of him here. Watch him. He's getting off the block very nicely, and now he's chasing. And he's as fast as most running backs. It's an amazing thing for a big guy his size. He can really run. Nice play.
No gain on the play. Matt Moore comes out. Bennett comes out. Tony Nathan back in. Clayton comes out to the left. Duriel Harris out to the right. 2nd and 10, Miami. They lead 38-35. Just trying to use up this clock. Marino, and it is complete to Clayton. Mark Clayton with a diving catch. John Holt on the coverage, saying the ball hit the ground. And it is ruled a completed pass and will be probably a first down.
Clayton ran a nice out pattern. And the other thing, he's a heads-up player. You'll see him go down to the ground here, realize he hasn't been touched, get up and go for extra yardage. That's a heads-up player. There he goes. He's taking off, getting more.
They will have to measure because there was contact by Holt, so he was down at that point where he made the diving catch. And they will measure, and it looks like they have. Yes, a first down, Miami. Clayton's 5th catch of the day for 50 yards. And a big one indeed to the 48-yard line. So the Dolphins, still in the driver's seat, have a first down with 4:28 to play and a 3-point lead. And they have been scared to death by these winless Buccaneers.
You can believe Don Shula has not relaxed yet. They're not out of danger.
We want to remind you to stay tuned for 60 minutes following our CBS football coverage today. Marino has come back with 4 straight completed passes following the interception. Give us to Nathan. Nathan pulled down for a loss at the 45-yard line by the rookie Ron Holmes.
Jeff Tays that time had to take someone and block them that he was not supposed to. He's trying to pull around and get around the corner and give the running back, you know, some blocking on the corner. Was not able to because someone missed the block inside. So the running back is stripped of the ball of his blocker. The result, no yardage.
Ron Holmes had 2 sacks against the Rams last week. The big rookie tight end trying to fill those shoes of Leroy Selman. Veteran nose tackle alongside him says he's real proud of the way this youngster's been playing. 2nd and 12. Marino gets time deep downfield for Clayton, incomplete. Boy, he just let it fly and hoped Clayton would run under that one, and the coverage was there from Castile. And there's Jeremiah thinking maybe he had a shot at an intercept, but there was really too much mustard on the ball for either of those guys.
That's right. But, you know, the good thing about it is now Miami's starting to stretch the defense a little bit, going downfield with some long balls. And that's something that they really needed to do, I think. Because now the underneath stuff will open up. If you have the defense thinking, well, they may go long again. Suddenly you're able to get that little pop pass and gain the yardage that you're looking for.
3rd and 12. Dolphins from their own 45, 3:18 remaining to play. Morgan and Howard are in defensively. 4 down linemen. Marino steps up in the pocket, gets it off, and he just threw it downfield. It'll bring up 4th down. So the pressure there by the Buccaneers, something they haven't had much of today, forced Marino to unload the ball perhaps a little prematurely.
I think he thought he's going to get a little heat from the backside, so he let it fly. And I think he's just thrown the ball away, really.
Well, he was throwing it away, but my point is that Clayton was open downfield, and he had eluded the initial rush and really he might have just been a little too eager to unload it. Reggie Roby, the big punter, standing at his 30-yard line. Mike Pryor is waiting for it. This is only the second punt of the day. I hope he remembers how to do it. Dolphins have been getting the ball into the end zone or coughing it up. And it's not one of his best, but it's going to turn out to be pretty good. Inside the 10 for Reggie Roby. It's going to be spotted at the 11-yard line. So Roby does his job, and we'll be back with 3:04 left to play. Bennett, coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, wondering if his team can go from their 11-yard line in the final 3:04 to at least get a tie. Don Shula saying, you know, we kept saying that this team is not an 0-6 team. On the other hand,
don't let them prove it.
They're not the Super Bowl champions. And here they are, leading by 3. They deserve to be in front. They have been the better team overall on the day. It's not a fluky lead they have by any means. However, they have been in a dogfight. And with 3:04 to go, this one is not over yet, and he well knows it.
Well, you know, one of the things that happens is when you play those Monday night games, it makes it very difficult physically to get ready to play another game on Sunday. And I think that what may have happened with Miami is that, you know, they're a little beat up in a lot of different areas, and suddenly Tampa comes in and gets hot. What can you do? You know, you've got some problems.
Well, Tampa Bay has been a team that has surrendered points in the second half. Leading 3 times coming into the second half, they have lost in their first 6 games. But here they are having a fine second half today. Nonetheless, they trail by 3. Wilder, no, good fake. DeBerg trying to find a man he'll take on. Steve DeBerg has a first down. Out to the 25-yard line, tripped up by George Little. Good fake to Wilder. At least he faked me, and I think a lot of the Miami Dolphins. A 13-yard gain. Well, now, DeBerg is not known as a scrambler. He wanted to throw the ball, but credit him, he got the first down.
That's right. You know, see, again, you notice he put that ball on his hip, and the defense cannot react because they don't see the ball. They think that the running back has it.
From the 24-yard line, first down, Tampa Bay. 2:26 and counting. Bell in motion. Wilder straight ahead. Breaks the tackle. Takes 2 people with him over the 30-yard line. A gain of 6. Jackie Shipp and Doug Betters, the tacklers for Miami. Timeout called by Tampa Bay with 2:10 on the clock.
You know, one of the nice things Steve DeBerg did on that draw play, again, you know, fundamentals of being a quarterback, he held that ball up so everybody thought it was a pass, dropped back and set it up nicely.
Well, this has been a dandy. We'll have more of the same next week. Doubleheader Sunday on CBS Sports. The early games include Minnesota at Chicago and a big one in the NFC Central, the unbeaten Chicago Bears. And then Atlanta, Dallas, Green Bay, Indianapolis, Washington, and Cleveland are the games you will see. Check your local listings to see which of the games you'll be watching. And then the doubleheader game, San Francisco 49ers and Los Angeles Rams. The Rams unbeaten with another victory today. The 49ers slipped once more, losing to the Detroit Lions. So the troubled Super Bowl champions take on the arch rival Los Angeles Rams.
You've got to believe San Francisco is hurting now. You know, they're with L.A. being that far out in front, it's going to be very difficult for them to win the division if they are ever able to. And the thing that they've got to start thinking about now is a wild card berth.
Well, it's an amazing thing this early in the season to be talking about the wild card possibilities for the Super Bowl champion, but there it is. Atlanta got into the victory column today in that Western Division of the NFC. And with Detroit moving to 4-3, Minnesota's moved to 4-3 on the NFC Central to make things a little more interesting in there. Some of the later action involving the AFC teams. This one was a close battle, still is obviously, but it was a field goal kicking contest into the 3rd period. New England now in front of the Jets 20-13. So the Jets suffering a little from the Monday night flaws. Denver in front of Seattle 10-7 in the 4th quarter. Second down, 4 to go. 30-yard line of Tampa Bay, 2:10 to play, regulation time. James Wilder. Excellent defensive play. Doug Betters, the left defensive end, number 75, just came sliding out there. And with help from the linebacker Brodzinski, they gave Wilder nowhere to go. The 2-minute warning has sounded. Miami leads by 3. Donald Igwebuike, no doubt thinking about the opportunity he hopes to get to send this game into overtime. He is 10 of 14 in the field goal department.
He could well be the man of the hour.
His teammates have to do something first, and that's get it down the field. They have a 3rd down and 4 at their own 30-yard line. DeBerg gets time. He's got Kevin House first down. Perfect strike to Kevin House. Paul Langford on the coverage, made the tackle, and his coverage was pretty good. House was inside him, and the pass was there. 22-yard gain.
Excellent route and excellent throw on that play. It was, again, one of those timing type of passes. He had to get it there, and the break had to be made at the right time.
For the Miami 47. DeBerg has a man open, complete. Kevin House again with another good catch, and Judson on tight coverage. Another 22-yarder. Boy, is that textbook.
OT, Tim, OT.
Well, don't count your chickens. 1:17 on the clock. The ball at the 25-yard line. DeBerg up the middle for Giles. Can't make the catch. On the coverage, the safety, Glenn Blackwood, number 47. The clock is stopped with 1:04 remaining.
Jimmy Giles ran a nice pattern, but the only thing was the ball's a little bit out in front of him. He had to extend out to try to catch it. He couldn't have scored anyway, but he's just, you see him here just reaching for the ball, just couldn't get it right on his fingertips. Too bad, because he's having an excellent day.
Well, that was excellent coverage by Glenn Blackwood.
It really was.
Looked like he got a hand on there, too, as the ball arrived. DeBerg is now up to 313 yards, 17 of 29, 4 touchdowns. No matter who you're cheering for in this game, you've got to feel good about the day that this guy's had, because he has had nothing but flack for 6 consecutive weeks. 2nd and 10. Lots of time. Short pass. He's got blockers in front. What a play defensively on Wilder by Bob Brodzinski. He broke up 2 blockers and made the tackle on Wilder. Brilliant work by Bob Brodzinski, and he's playing hurt.
He really is. You know, we saw him limping around the other day at practice. He made a great play here. He took on the blockers and was able to take out the interference. Although I do believe James Wilder should have turned up outside on the sideline. You'll see some room on the sideline for him to run, but he didn't pick the right hole, apparently. Now you'll see the room on the sideline. He tried to tuck it up inside and didn't make the yardage.
Tampa Bay's taken their 2nd timeout. They've got 1 remaining. Igwebuike preparing on the sideline. The ball is at the 20-yard line. 3rd down and 6 for the 1st down. A 3-point differential. And an exciting football game that when it began, the way Miami was moving the football, it appeared like we would have a rout. They led 14-0 in the first period. And here we are with 53 seconds left and just a 3-point differential. Anything can happen.
Well, Tim, you know, when we talked the other day, we felt that this game might be a barn burner type of a game with a lot of offense. And you know, it was very prophetic of us to make that way, I think, because that's exactly what has happened today.
Raymond Bennett says, maybe this is our day. Maybe this is our night. It is dark in Miami now. Mac Moore has come in, the pass rusher. Don McNeil, the nickelback. Defensively for Miami. Also Robert Sowell, 4 backs, or rather 6 backs in the secondary for the Dolphins. Slot formation left. The crowd alive. Theo Bell in motion. The pass for Giles incomplete. There was pressure on DeBerg. He threw it a second earlier than he wanted to. Glenn Blackwood.
That time Miami loaded up the line of scrimmage. Absolutely. They loaded up the line of scrimmage and tried to come with everybody they possibly could who didn't have to cover somebody.
Here comes Donald Igwebuike. He has 10 of 14 field goals. His long is from 51 yards away. He's kicking into the wind. The wind has gone down considerably from earlier in the day. This one will be from 38 yards. In that category, he is 4 of 5. From 30 to 39 yards. Risher the holder. It is good. Donald Igwebuike has tied it up. 43 seconds to play.
Overtime, Tim.
43 seconds to play. Anything can happen.
There's Donald. He knows he's punched it through. He's the happiest man on the field right now. All right. Yeah.
It's a Nigerian high five there. He is now 4 of 5 from that distance. And make it 5 of 6 from that distance. And 11 of 14. We're tied at 38 as the Buccaneers went 69 yards in 9 plays. In 2 minutes and 21 seconds, they got the tying field goal. And the Dolphins will now construct a 43-second offense for Dan Marino and company. It has been a shootout in the Orange Bowl. DeBerg and Marino at the top of their form. Each has had 1 interception. DeBerg has thrown for 4 touchdowns, Marino for 3.
Let's see if Igwebuike tries to squib the ball on the ground instead of putting it up in the air. That's a tactic sometimes they use on kickoffs to prevent the long run back.
He went for it. It's coming down at the 5. Hampton nearly broke loose. Got out to the 28-yard line. Relatively good field position for the Dolphins.
Miami is fortunate that they saved 2 of their timeouts, and they're really going to need them on this drive with only 38 seconds to get into field goal position or to score a touchdown.
They'll be starting from their 28-yard line with 38 seconds to play. Well, a crowd of more than 60,000 here at the Orange Bowl has had more than their money's worth in this twilight football game. There has been excitement aplenty. 3 wide receivers, all out to the right side. Marino comes to the near side. Whoa, they tried the lateral, and fortunately for Miami, it went out of bounds. The flea flicker, Daryl Harris to Tony Nathan, and the hit on Harris popped the ball up, but it went out of bounds.
Miami almost got too cute on the play. Now you'll watch Daryl Harris catch the ball. He's trying to flip it back. The man in motion is coming past him right here, Tony Nathan, and he almost throws the ball away. He threw it behind Nathan, and now here comes a Tampa Bay player trying to get to it. Randall can't make it, though. Dangerous play to try at this time of the game.
A lucky break, indeed. John Holt made the tackle. Randall, one would assume, would have been able to stop Nathan, but we'll never know. First down, nonetheless, at the 40-yard line, out of the shotgun. Screen pass. 3 blockers for Nathan. Nathan with a great piece of running to the 42-yard line of Tampa Bay. Chris Washington made the stop. An 18-yard run and a dandy by Tony Nathan. Timeout on the field. We'll be right back, tied at 38. 22 seconds remaining. What a great run by Nathan.
Here we got a middle screen. You watch all these defensive linemen rush outside. Here's Tony Nathan settling down in the middle. He's got his blockers in front of him and takes full advantage of the big guys. Gets good yardage on the play. Nice block, by the way, by Roy Foster.
Excellent blocking, and Nathan gave every blocker an opportunity to do something. He didn't try to force it. He followed his blocker.
So he sets them up and then he takes advantage of the block.
And he got the ball to the 41-yard line of Tampa Bay. Dan Marino is now 26 of 38, 287 yards. Last week completed only 13 passes. And there is Fuad Reveiz. He is 11 of 13 in field goals with a long of 45 in the first 6 games of the year. First down. Lots of time. Up the middle, complete to Nathan. Nathan breaks the tackle and gets to the 25-yard line. Sully and Greenwood stop him there, but Tony Nathan has been a one-man running gang after getting the pass from Marino. The Dolphins take their final timeout. Onto the field comes Fuad Reveiz.
Shula must have made the decision, hey, we're close enough. Let's not, risk going out of the game without getting this field goal off. So let's go on and kick it now. Call a timeout, kick the field goal, and win the ball game.
Nathan, with 8 catches today, 80 yards, has been a key factor for the Dolphins. Reveiz, as they will set it up at the 33-yard line. It'll be a 43-yard attempt.
Well, this is something else. I tell you what, I know the Dolphins are going, hey, look, man, we got to win this thing now. Field goal, and we're out of here. Missed the field goal, and we got another period to go.
He is 2 for 2 between 40 and 49 yards. He has the wind with him, although, again, the wind is not as stiff as it was earlier, but the flag is still blowing with a fair amount of billow. Don Strock will hold. They'll spot it just inside the 34-yard line. 44-yard attempt for Reveiz. It is good. Seconds are on the clock. Fuad Reveiz does the job.
Strock goes, hey, way to go, buddy.
From Miami Sunset High School and the University of Tennessee, Don Shula finally has had something to cheer about. He has been a disturbed man watching the Bucs close and close and close. And officially the field goal is called 43 yards for Fuad Reveiz. And the Dolphins, who have led all the way until that tying field goal, have taken the lead back and probably the victory.
That's right. Now it's up to Reveiz to put the ball on the ground, let them scramble around, try to pick it up, and let the clock expire.
Another gutty display by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I know that is not solace enough to their fans who have been long suffering. But nonetheless, they must be encouraged by the way this team plays. They lost 3 starters to injury during the course of this game. And they have come back to nearly steal it away from the Dolphins. They started out 14 love down back in the first quarter.
You know, it's very difficult to find some consolation in winning. When you play as well as the Buccaneers have today, a guy like Lehman Bennett's got to say, hey, look, you guys gave it everything you had today, and it was a heck of a ball game. It's just a shame someone has to lose a game like this.
These Dolphins can't wait to get to the locker room, I can promise you that. Let's get out of here. They don't want to see these orange shirts again. Good kickoff by Reveiz through the end zone. Now remember, no seconds off the clock. Meanwhile, a little scuffle upfield. John Holt and Jay Brophy, not Holt, it's 24, Mike Pryor and Jay Brophy, but nothing too serious. So no time goes off the clock since no receiver got to run the kickoff back. So the Bucs will have the last gasp here with 6 seconds from their own 20-yard line. DeBerg, sensational day, 18 of 31, 317 yards, 4 touchdowns and an interception. And Marino, a sensational day, 27 of 39, 302 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. And don't forget, we'll have a quick wrap up with Brent Musburger to give you all the scores around the rest of the league on this most eventful afternoon in the National Football League. 7 defensive backs are in. 3 receivers are out to the right for Tampa Bay. DeBerg has lots of time and lets it fly. And it's caught by Kevin House, but he is tackled at the 25-yard line. And that is it. A thrilling football game. Steve DeBerg got the pass there, but the game is over. For Dan Jacobs, this is Tim Ryan saying so long from the Orange Bowl. Miami 41, Tampa Bay 38. Coming up next, the wrap-up show with Brent Musburger. You've been watching CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League.